45, 47. Do 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 do. 45, 47. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Hi, everyone. I'm sorry. I was responding to an insane text message. Yeah. Hello. How's everyone doing? Please stop texting. Please stop texting. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone's having a wonderful night, guys. As we get in, tap, tap, tap the screen. Send your daily heart, me, share the live. Let's do all the wonderful things. Let's do all the wonderful things. Let me get the tube up here. And as soon as I can verify that the tube is up, we're going to go ahead and crank this thing up. We're going to crank it up, crank it up. Hope everyone's having a wonderful Tuesday evening. I know I am. I'm so excited and happy to be back and to see you guys. Thank you guys for knocking out the roses. Thank you for knocking out the roses. We're going to do, oh, look. The tube is there. All right, guys. You know what that means? Let's get it.
Yeah, this ain't your regular panel. Nah, we speak the truth. Late nights with Santana and Mama Jones watching. Better keep it clean. Let's go. Late nights, truth in the convo. Everybody get a seat at the table. From the block to the books, we mindful. No screaming, just dreams in the Bible. One mic, one voice, we build bridges from the heart of the hood to the world's big issues. Politics, pay, different cultures, but the real ones listen before they rebuttal. Late nights with Santana. Yeah, Mama Jones watching, so keep it grown. Ain't about flexing, this a purpose zone. Santana hold it steady when it might get hot, but we ain't here to fight, we here to connect the dots. Yeah, late nights with Santana.
You already know.
Late nights with Santana. Late nights, no static. No highlight reel, just the soul's reflection. No shade throwing, just connection. From streetwise truths to deep reflections, we turn hard talks into blessings. They say they run a game, we build new rules. We here to heal, uplift, and break the old rules. They kept us boxed in, divided by fear, but you find us lined up when the truth appears. Yeah, weekly topics,
Hearts wide open.
no judgment, just motion. Real ones are talking, no cussing. Cause Mama Jones still watching, no fronting. Yeah,
Late nights with Santana.
you already know.
Late nights with Santana.
Late nights, no static. Yeah, Mama Jones watching, so keep it grown. Ain't about flexing, this a purpose zone. Santana hold it steady when it might get hot, but we ain't here to fight, we
We here to connect the dots.
Mama Jones watching, so keep it grown. Ain't about flexing, this a purpose zone. Santana hold it steady when it might get hot, but we ain't here to fight, we here to connect the dots. Weekly topics,
Hearts wide open.
no judgment, just motion. Real ones are talking, no cussing. Cause Mama Jones still watching, no fronting.
Hello. Hey, beautiful people. Keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 8,000 likes. Let's get the likes up to 8,000 likes, please.
Santana.
Welcome in, Erica Raid.
Late nights with Santana.
You already know.
Late nights with Santana. Late nights.
Late nights with Santana.
You already know.
Late nights with Santana.
Late nights.
Hey, welcome in, beautiful people. I hope everyone is having such an amazing day. It's Tuesday. Listen, it's still the beginning of the week, but it's still a beautiful night to be here, and I'm happy to see each and every one of you guys. Again, welcome in, Erica Raid. But as we get in, tap the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 8,000 likes. And if we could, can we get the shares up to at least 50 shares? We don't have to spam share, but can we please get the shares up to at least 50 shares? At least 50 shares. Also, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. It will help boost the live and push us out to the FYP. I'm going to keep actually resetting the daily gift goal to these little 1-cent goals. If we can knock those out a couple of times, again, that'll help as well. So, guys, I need you all locked in with me. Do all the things. Let's get this going. Listen. Late nights is different. Late nights is not sparring. Late nights means that everyone gets to join the conversation. And when I say everyone, I mean everyone. That means if you are actually interested in joining the conversation, go ahead and request up. This is a panel discussion, and yes, 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 we will have respect, we will have order, we will have decorum, because my mom is watching. With that being said, guys, the topic for this week is a house divided cannot stand. A house divided cannot stand. I'm actually going to go ahead and get my backup up here so people can find a way. You can just click on the box once I get the backup up, or you can hit the little request button. All right, I got that set. Now, I know TikTok has changed their layout just a little bit, so I want to make sure that everyone is able to actually get to it and see it and whatnot and da-da-da-da-da. So we should be good there. Again, if you are interested in actually joining the conversation, go ahead and request up. We're going to get people in here and we're going to get started. Again, this week we are talking about a house divided cannot stand. What does that mean? We're going to talk about the state of our states. The state of our states? What's the state of our state? The state of our states. That boils down to, how is the United States of America doing in your eyes? We are also going to continue to talk about identity politics. Listen, a lot of people have been like, what's identity politics? Identity politics is a lot of things that are important, but they have quite literally been weaponized. I'm not going to say by who, but they have been weaponized, and we're going to get into that. We're also going to talk about the 2026 midterms. We need to know who you're voting for, what you're doing, all those wonderful things. And again, it does not matter which side you're on. You get to actually use your voice. And last but not least, we're going to talk about reaching voters. How do you actually reach the people that are most important? That's the voters. That's absolutely the voters. The people, specifically non-voters, and maybe even those people that you're trying to reach across the aisle and connect with. So with that being said, I'm going to start letting people up. And as we get in, please, please, please mute yourself. Please, please, please mute yourself. And we will do an introduction and then we'll go ahead and get started. We'll get started. And again, everyone is welcome. So I'm going to bring you in, but please, 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 again, mute yourself once you actually get up here. And we'll do an introduction. All right, all right, all right. Perfect, perfect, perfect. It looks like, oh, I'll mute you, Kimberly, because you're a little loud. You're a little loud. Hey, PJ, how are you? Mandatory voting for anyone with a license. You know what? I got some other ideas. I don't know if I would go mandatory voting, but I got ideas. All right. Let's see. I'm going to mute you as well. We're going to mute ourselves so we can do the introduction. Got to mute ourselves so we can do the introduction. All right, guys. All right. All right. All right. So we're going to go around the horn and we're just going to do a quick introduction, a quick introduction. And then we are going to get into it. Again, guys, especially if you're someone who did not get the opportunity to actually join the conversation last night, get in the box. Get in the box. I know there's, oh, I see one person that was here late that didn't get to actually join. And we'll go ahead and get the actual person in. All right, perfect, perfect. All right, so we're going to go around the horn and do a quick introduction. And once we do that, we will get right into it. All right, starting at the top. We're going to start with someone who thinks they're funny. They're not that funny. They're kind of funny. They're not that funny. Whatever. Surviving Santana Jones. Gene, how are you?
Hey, what's up, Santana?
How are you this evening, friend?
I'm doing pretty good. Good to see you on.
Good, good, good. Hey, all right. So start off with the basic questions. Do you fancy yourself to be someone that votes for the left, the right, or in the middle?
Oh, I will 1000% always vote the left, down ballot every single time. Even before the whole MAGA process, I've never been a fan of the right at all.
Okay, perfect, perfect. And with that being said, then that means you voted for who in this past election?
Oh, I voted Kamala Harris 1000%.
Perfect, perfect. And last but not least, really quick, what do you think about the current state of our states?
I feel like we've never been this country's never been great, but we were making progress, however slight or little it was, and it's slowly being eroded away, and it's really it went from anger about what's happening to just pure sadness, honestly.
Okay, okay. Perfect, perfect. Give me a second here. Let's see. Green Finger, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fantastic. Thanks for having
Wonderful.
me up,
Well, thank you
Santana.
for coming up.
I always
Green,
appreciate your live.
absolutely. Thank you. Greenfinger, do you fancy yourself to be someone who votes on the left, the right, or independent?
So I am somebody who has voted left since Obama. Previously, I was somebody who voted right before that. I
Mm,
voted George W. Bush. I guess I should say George W. Bush was my first time I could vote.
hmm.
Uh, but it's always been left ever since then. Obama, and it's always been left.
Okay, okay. So that means the last person that you voted for in this past election was
Kamala.
perfect, perfect. All right. And what do you think about the current state of our state?
So the current state, I would say it's something that this isn't Trump or Biden. Personally, I think it's been this way since C-19. So
Mm.
it's very divided. It's very divided. It's very unfortunate, but I believe it's C-19.
You know what? I'm not even gonna lie. Like I can see that. I understand the logic behind what you're saying. So I'm not gonna say that you're wrong. All right, perfect, perfect. Give me a second here. Uh, Football is back soon. Football is back soon. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Santana?
Wonderful, wonderful. Football is back soon. Do you fancy yourself to be someone who votes on the left, right, or independent?
I consider myself independent, but I normally end up voting Democrat or on the left.
Okay, perfect, perfect. So in this past election, who did you vote for?
Kamala Harris.
All right, perfect, perfect. And what do you think about the current state of our state?
Corruption is now just completely normalized. I think that hypercapitalism, late stage capitalism, the privatization of everything, yeah, not a good outlook overall. But I will say this, there's a lot of good communities out there that I think are keeping things going for the people. So,
Absolutely, absolutely. Perfect, perfect. Give me a second here. Next we have Trans Man. Trans Man, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. Trans Man, are you someone that fancy yourself as a left-leaning voter, right-leaning voter, or an independent?
Definitely left.
Okay, perfect, perfect. And last but not least, in this past election, who did you vote for?
Kamala.
Wonderful, wonderful. And what do you think about the current state of our states?
It's really scary right now. I think is the best way to put it.
I think that's like the lightest way to put it. Okay, perfect, perfect. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Give me a moment. We have Jamaican I can't. I'm just gonna call you Jamaican. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's Jamaican Peruvian Santana. It's okay though.
Peruvian. Got it. I couldn't. The
Yes,
okay. Jamaican Peruvian. How are you?
I am doing good, Santana. I've been on your live months ago, but I know you probably won't remember me. But I've been
You
here
know what? I
for.
remember you after you said your name, and I remember I struggled with it before.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. That's fair.
hmm.
That's cool.
So Jamaican Peruvian. Are you someone that fancies yourself as a left-leaning voter, right-leaning voter, or someone who normally votes independent?
Left, always the left. I will always stay on the left side. Growing up, I had Republican family. I
Hmm.
used to be a Republican. I got out of there. I did lack of research for me because with Donald Trump this and that.
Hmm.
And I ended up as a Republican. I voted for Hillary,
Hmm.
and then 2017, and since then I became a Democrat, and I'm still a Democrat to this day. Still,
Got it. Got it. All right. Perfect. Perfect. And what do you think about the current state of our state?
well, the current state of our state is not really doing so well, but As far as like good statistics that we're seeing right now with Democrats winning, like when I just read an article about Iowa
Hmm.
winning
Oh, I
winning the
saw
state,
that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I feel like we're doing very prepossessing, excellent progress.
Hmm.
But even though it's bad now, currently, we're not going to fight. I mean, we're not going to give up. We're going to keep fighting and fighting until we claw our way up to the 2026 election, and that's what I totally believe in.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect. All right. Give me a moment. And last but not least, Kimberly. Kimberly, how are you? Oh, Kimberly, are you there? Kimberly, I'm going to send you a request to come off mute.
There we go.
Hey, Kimberly, how are you?
Thanks for having me up.
Absolutely. Kimberly, do you fancy yourself to be someone who votes on the left, right, or independent?
I was raised Republican, but I can't do that anymore. I just can't. Democratic
Ooh,
now.
that's interesting. Interesting. Okay, so that means in this past election, you voted for.
Kamala.
Perfect, perfect.
Uh,
And what do you think about the current state of our state?
I am severely disappointed in my state of Texas.
Mm.
Um, my new hero is Collier and Yolanda Jones, and we're hoping for Isaiah Martin to be coming up, and
He's officially on the
Jasmine
ballot.
Crockett.
Did you see that?
Yes, and I'm so
Hmm.
pleased. I wish I was in his district.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, perfect, perfect. Thank you so much. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get started here. Yes, I did leave a box open. We're gonna, if you are interested in joining the panel, go ahead and request up. We're gonna try to make sure that we get more people involved and rotate people in and out, so more people can get an opportunity to speak. Especially if you are someone. I know we have a lot of left-leaning voters on the panel at the moment, but if you are someone that tends to vote right or independent that kind of leans conservative, feel free to go ahead and request up. You will get priority to join the conversation because listen, this is not a debate. It's not. Sorry, guys. I know you guys might see me around all the time and think, hey, it's Santana. Let's debate. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. This is not a debate. This is an actual conversation. This is a panel discussion where we will be respectful to each other. With that being said, just a couple of reminders for the people on the panel. Guys, please, please, please be mindful of TikTok friendly language. What does that mean? That means using words like pew pew, unalive, mustache man, C19, all of those things that protect not only your TikTok, but the live. Also, guys, please remember, this is a safe and friendly community. That means we don't do any of the isms, racism, sexism, classism. We also don't do any of the phobias, homophobia, transphobia, none of that. We don't play it on the panel or in the chat. Speaking of the chat, please, please, please be mindful. Caps are for mods. Caps will draw my attention away from the panel and to the chat. So please, please, please be mindful of that and do not use caps. With that being said, guys, let's continue to do all the wonderful things. Let's keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 50,000 likes. If we can get the shares up to 100 share, we don't need the spam share. If you can share it just one time. If everybody just shares it one time, that'll be good. And I'm gonna keep resetting this daily gift goal to these little 1 cent gift goals. If we can keep knocking those out, again, that will push us out to the FYP. And last but not least, guys, we do have a nightly donation goal of $250. If you are enjoying the information, education, entertainment, please, please, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. And if you're over on YouTube, what up, YouTube? What up, Twitch? If you're over on the tube, you can send a YouTube super chat, and I will read that message out. And listen, YouTube said we're gonna get it started early. W's in the chat for Sean. Sean sent a $2 YouTube super chat to say, "I'm the guy who told you about my great nephew, Sean. I remember you. I do. I don't remember names that well, but I remember stories, and I remember like the exchange you and I had afterwards. So I definitely remember you. But thank you for the $2 donation. You sent the $2 YouTube super chat followed by another one said his parents turned into a bulldozer and squashed it. Listen, sometimes you gotta. Parents don't play about their kids. I'm just saying, Sean. But hopefully, your nephew is doing good. Hopefully everything is better. But I'm glad to see you back, and hopefully everything is great. Also, W's in the chat for Greg, who sent $2 Canadian to say Iowa flipped a seat blue today. Absolutely, guys. If you guys did not see it, Iowa had a super majority, and they were able to actually break up the super majority and flip a seat. I think that kind of lends itself to my premise that I think that the Democrats are going to fall AWS backwards into something at the midterms, but I don't want to get too far into the weeds. I want people to actually be able to have this conversation. So what we're going to do, I am actually going to start. We're going to start there. We're going to start at the midterms. And Gene, surviving Santana, I'm going to start with you. I'm going to start with you because I know there's multiple conversations that are occurring about the midterms, right? And more so, conversations around the actual people and who we have as candidates and who we don't have as candidates, all of those things. But Gene, the one thing that I have, and I guess this has kind of been bouncing around in the old noggin. How do you feel about the Democratic approach to the 2026 election? Because I don't feel like there has been a concerted effort from the Democratic establishment. What do you think?
In all honesty, I haven't seen a big push or a big enough push as there should be. There are candidates that I like and stuff, but you know, it's pretty much all of our focus has been on fighting Trump, that we haven't really been able to really focus too much on the election as we should have.
I agree. I think that there has been a consistent effort towards actually, saying Orange Man bad, right? But not necessarily highlighting the things that we or the left could offer as a party. And I think that might be an issue. Green Finger, coming to you. What do you think? Do you think that the Democratic Party has laid out any plausible candidates or had like any real consistent message, or do you think they're just still relying on Orange Man bad?
No, I do believe there's a base that's Orange Man bad, but that's shrinking just as Orange Man good is shrinking for the MAGA base. I believe the last time I checked, the likely candidates are in the favor of the Democrats. Sorry, just one sec. As well as toss up or worse. So likely or lean is in favor of the Democrats, and toss up as well as in favor of the Democrats. Last time I checked, so I'm very confident about this. This is something though that I feel is very natural. It's almost like a pendulum. However, it happens a little quicker when it comes to this. As you know, previously before the Republicans held, the Democrats held. And I think it's going back to the Democrats now.
Yeah. So that's a problem that's a problem I think we have as a country. Because you're right. There's always a constant ebb and flow as far as like the country and who has power. I feel like that a lot of people have revisionist history. And I think that's something that we really have to somehow fix as a country as a whole. Football is back. Coming to you. What do you think? Do you think that the left has any type of strategic plan when it comes to the 2026 election? Do you think, to Greenfinger's point, there is a ebb and flow where it just so happens that it's the Democratic Party turn? And if it is, like, how productive would that actually be for anyone?
Oh gosh, there's like 3 points there. So the first thing is the biggest people that I see making traction on the left actually, in my opinion, have nothing to do with the 2026 midterms, and that would be Zoran Mandani as well as Gavin Newsom.
Yes.
Right? Those are the ones, and regardless of what people think about those two, right, they're the ones that are getting a lot of traction, but neither of them are running in the midterms in 2026. So I think as far as the left and the midterms, I haven't yet seen a very cohesive message or strategy which is concerning because it seems to me that their strategy is that they almost feel entitled to that pendulum swing, because Orange Man bad,
Right.
and that's concerning. I think we should be offering, and to their credit, I think Zoran and Gavin Newsom both offer a lot of what people want, which is a more progressive populist message from Zoran Mandani, and the willingness to fight and get after their ass, so to speak, from Gavin Newsom.
Hey, language. Mama Jones is watching.
Sorry. Get after their butt a little bit by Gavin Newsom. And I think that that's what people want. And I'm not seeing that as far as midterms. And what were your other questions, by the way?
Do you think that there's any type of progression that'll come if it's just a swing of the pendulum instead of an actual movement?
For the short term, yes, because I don't think we need to shake the ground in the midterms. I think we just need to put a stop to the madness, so to speak, of President Trump. And so, in my opinion, I'm not honestly looking for anything momentum shaking right now. I think
Really?
just getting back the House is totally fine for right now. And then 2028 would be where you'd start looking at people like AOC and kind of those more momentum breakers and movement shakers. That's just my opinion.
Got it. Just an FYI for the people watching over on the tube, I sent you all a poll and I want to get you to weigh in on it. So let me know what you think about the question that I just posted. So take a look at the screen over on the tube and check out that actual poll. All right, give me a second here. Trans man, I need to hear from you because more so, do you think the Democratic Party has a direction heading into the 2026 midterms? And I kind of want to go towards the end. Football's back said that he's not looking for anything groundbreaking. What about you? Do you have any type of expectations that there should be something like an actual movement, or what are your thoughts?
So I did have a really quick question first, just for the sake of the live. Do I need to have a pseudonym or something? Is my username gonna get you or me in trouble?
No, fuck it. We ball. Oh, excuse me. No, it's okay. I keep forgetting. I have a couple of different Santana personalities in my head. Sometimes there's sparring, right? There's late nights, and then there's brunch with my creator, and even there's kind of another one when I'm just on someone's panel. This is late nights. I apologize. I can call you something else if you would prefer.
Trans man is fine. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't putting anybody at risk.
No, we'll do it. Anyway, floor is yours.
And then back to the question, I agree with football. I don't really see a cohesive message. I feel like a lot of Democrats right now are very indifferent to a lot of things, and I do feel like they feel justified that the pendulum will swing back in their favor, but I'm honestly not seeing enough progression. I'm not seeing enough progressive ideals and stances. And I think I think that is kind of working against them in a lot of cases.
Got it. All right, perfect. Jamaican Peruvian, what do you think? Is there any type of direction? Have you heard anything that has really piqued your interest from the 2024, the 2026 midterms from the left? And even more so, do they need to actually have something that's gonna engage people?
Yeah, I think so because it's even though Democrats, they try to do the best they can to offer, since Republicans have nothing to offer. I feel like we might still have a good pick, but I agree with all the callers saying that they're not doing as fighting as much as they could. They're mostly focusing on Bad Man Orange,
which is not a good plan. Sorry.
No, it's not. It's not. I completely agree, and that's don't get me wrong, that's a good thing, but you can't just focus on that. You have to keep focusing further on making how you could make our voters, Democrat voters, satisfied. like raising minimum wage. You
Yep.
know, Republicans, they've been debarring minimum wage for so many years now, and that's the bad part. And you know, Dems, I felt like they weren't doing enough for that. So I feel like Dems, they need to do like more engaging for their voters and try to wheedle them, persuade them uh, to show us what they got, what you got to offer on the table. And then if that's the case, okay, yeah, I will vote for you. You know, it's not fair that we have our beautiful women of the Democratic Party, some of them fighting for us, and it's not really the men that's fighting for us. You
Yeah,
know, and
you know what's interesting? I've seen that, and that's a conversation that's occurred kind of across the board. Is that you see more women and femme presenting people actually taking the forefront as far as like uh, what happens and how we're going to actually move. And I do think that there's a need. I think there's a lot of lack of leadership coming from the men within the left. So I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Perfect, perfect. All right. YouTube's just an FYI. After this, I'm going to close out that poll and we're going to take a look at it. So if you have not had an opportunity to vote in that poll, go ahead and vote now because I want to know what you think and I'm going to share it with everyone. So if you have not voted on that poll yet, go ahead and vote. Kimberly, floor is yours. What do you think about the 2026 election? And last but not least, what do you think about the need to actually drive desires instead of just hoping that you're voted for because Orange Man is bad?
Yeah, I think we need to get away from that message very much, Santana. I really do. I see such a huge gap in people that did not vote. There were so many people eligible that just did not. They looked at that and went, well, this side's not great, that side's not great, I don't want anything. And they just stayed absent. And I think if we could capture some of that momentum, we'd be in better shape. And also, I need to see some strength out there. I look at Pete Buttigieg, who speaks his mind, and I look at Jasmine Crockett, who speaks her mind, and I say, go, please, stand up for us. Somebody, 10 toes down, here we go, but I'm just not seeing that kind of robust go get them, from just about anybody. I
Mm,
was proud of the Dems in Texas that just left the state and said, we're not playing this game.
yep,
But it took a lot for them to do that.
yep, yep.
The other chasm, the other gulf that I see that we just can't cross is that there is so much dollar bills stacked on the other side. I just don't see how we can even grassroots pull enough together to keep any candidate rolling forward.
Yeah,
So we need to
no.
get them out there in front of people and give them some momentum, give them our dollars and give them our support and follow with them instead of just standing somebody up there and walking away.
You know what? I'm gonna disagree with the last thing that you said, Kimberly. I'm gonna disagree. We don't need to give them a darn thing. They need to earn it, right? And maybe I'm just a little bit different in my mindset as far as like what should be happening. And to kind of put a bow on this, I think that I'm disappointed in the messaging from the Democratic Party, the Democrat establishment, not from the people that tend to be on the left, not from the ground roots, not from the people that are actually getting active and doing things. Like I love the protests. I love the people that are utilizing their voice, whether it's in D.C. or if it's at the Texas State House or heck, even Gavin Newsom standing up in California. I love all of those. But when you talk about the actual um, Democratic Party, right? The Hakeem Jeffries, the Nancy Pelosi's, the Chuck Schumers, the people that are supposed to be at the top of the Democratic Party and that currently has power within the Democratic Party, they not only lack messaging, in my opinion, but they lack the actual urgency of the moment, which is sad. It's really sad because yes, you can lie on your laurels as far as Orange Man bad. We all know this. But heck, you have the opportunity to do something. And I keep saying this, and Mama Jones, cover your ears for a second. If you're listening, cover your ears. Um, I think the Democratic Party is counting on falling ass backwards into a win at the midterms, and it's not acceptable. If you're someone who votes on the left, then you deserve better than, oh, it's our turn. And that's how I feel. So we're gonna keep this thing moving. I got a couple of things to read off, and then I'm gonna get a couple more people. I know there's some people in the box, and there's a couple of spots that are open. I'm gonna actually even drop down my backup, and we're gonna get more people up here in just a moment. So if you are interested in joining the conversation, go ahead and request up. This will be your opportunity. We're gonna get people in here in just one moment. But with that being said, let me go ahead and end this poll. Boom. All right, let's take a look at the poll results. The poll results over on the tubes, 93 people voted, and the question was, do you think the left has direction in the 2026 midterm currently? 93 people voted, and 50% said no. I don't know how this worked, because it said 50% said no and 49% said yes. Did 1% like do something that I don't know? What are you guys doing over there on YouTube? Like, how'd you break the poll? I don't know. Anyway, I think that's accurate. I think that's super accurate. Thank you for participating in the poll over on the tube. You guys are awesome. Also, guys, W's in the chat for Ray Lynn. Ray Lynn sent a $10 donation, said, I love your content. Keep it up. Thank you so much for that $10 donation towards the nightly donation goal. And also $5 from PJ. PJ sent a $5 donation, said, good to see you tonight. Thank you for educating so many. PJ, thank you so much for your donation. Guys, that means that we now are only $235 away from closing out our nightly donation goal. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. The username is like down there below us. If you take a look at that on the screen below, Santana Speaks For You. Santana Speaks For You is the best way to support the live. We got 405 people hanging out. If 235 people send $1, we can close out the goal. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. If you're over on the tube, you can send a YouTube super chat, and I will read that message out. All right, we got a couple of spots open, so I'm going to bring a couple of people in, and we're going to keep this conversation going because I have more questions, and even more so, I want to know your thoughts on the amount of fight or lack thereof that you think is appropriate for the election. Because I think that the way that the left wins is if they actually double and triple down on what that fight is to them and how it should be. What the fight is and how it should be. All right. We have someone new on the panel. BB tired of MAGA? Is that how you say your username? I'm gonna send you a request to unmute. Also, I know there's a couple of people that accidentally had to step away for a second, but we're saving your spot. So as soon as you get back, go ahead and request, and we'll put you back on in your spot. BB tired of MAGA? Are you there? I see you typing yep, but you have to come off mute. You're muted. I sent you a request to come off mute. There we go. How are you?
Good.
Wonderful, wonderful. And what can I call you?
Baby.
Can I call you something else?
Baby?
That's cool. We'll call you BB. BB, are you someone who tends to vote left, right, or independent?
I vote for the people, which is left.
Okay. Perfect. And so that means in the last election, you voted for
Harris, of course.
Perfect. And really quick, what do you think about the current state of our state? State of our states.
Oh, it doesn't take a genius to realize that the GOP has ruined everything that the Democrats have fought for all along.
Okay. Yeah. 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 I do think that there is a lot to that, and also a lot to the fact that there is a lack of. I'll say this. And this may be a very unpopular opinion, and BB, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. But I'm someone that actually thinks that we need a strong Republican Party. Not strong in the sense of like, oh, they have all the power, but strong in the sense of actually knowing who they are, an actual foundation and an actual direction. And you're not just following this one person off the side of a cliff, but people that have moral fiber and backbone and actually look to achieve certain things. And I think that's something, heck, I don't believe in the two party system, but at the very least, we should actually have two credible parties that have actual direction and how they want to improve the country. But what do you think, BB?
Yeah, that's not happening now.
Mm.
The GOP has got their grips on power and they're not going to let go of it.
Yep, I think so too. I think so too. All right, we're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna keep it moving. So I think that one thing, and I can't remember who said it, but I want to come back to Jamaican Peruvian, and I want to start with you, um, because I think that there is a misconception, right? So last night we talked about the desire for certain people to stop trying to reach moderates, right? Saying that, hey, we don't need moderates. We need to focus on, ourselves and blah, 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 blah. Understandable. I have been of the mindset that there's about 5 to 10 million people that did not vote, and we need to be targeting those non-voters. So, Jamaican
Yeah.
Peruvian, what do you think about the actual base of non-voters? How do we reach those people who, for some reason, didn't feel it necessary to actually vote in this past election?
I think
Oh, you're breaking up. I don't know if that's just me. It's just
that we
me.
fight.
Oh, you're
I'm
wait.
outside. Shit.
Oh, okay.
Sorry
You're
about
breaking
that.
up.
Give me 1 sec.
Guys, while we wait for Jamaican Peruvian to actually
I think we have to fight.
get the
We have
volume
to
right.
do what we
Hold on one
can
second.
to
Hold on one
make
second,
sure,
Jamaican Peruvian.
like by
Hold on,
taking
Jamaican
action,
Peruvian.
keep
Jamaican Peruvian. Can you hear me?
sending money, keep sending stuff.
Just gonna mute you for a second. If you can hear me talking, we're gonna reset. Hold on
Yeah,
for a
can you
second.
hear me?
Yep. Hold on one second. One second. Uh, I'm gonna challenge the chat. Gonna challenge the chat really quick, guys. Listen, you guys showed up and showed out last night, and I know you can do it again. Boom. See what I just put on the screen? That's a timer. That's a timer, guys. We're at 62,000 likes. I think we can get up to, let's say, 110,000 in 10 minutes. I have faith in you. Kay doesn't have faith in you, but I have faith in you. So we're going to say in 10 minutes, let's see if we can get up to 110,000 likes. Or we're going to go to, sub only. So guys, tap the screen. Let's do the wonderful things. Jamaican Peruvian, floor is yours. Hey, Swan.
Yeah. Sorry, Santana. I was ordering pizza.
No worries.
And my Uber came and I just ordered Pizza Hut. Yeah. So I was just saying we should like take action. Take action as into fighting, and send some money and stuff like that. Send as much as you can, like $5, $10. Keep that going. I know it's like useless too, but also call like your local parties, like your local people that work for the Democratic Party, and tell them like we're not satisfied with what's going on. We expect for more people to stand up. Because I heard like last time, like when you call the house, right, and the lines are busy, no one's picking up. I heard like that's a good sign and stuff like that. But it's just I know those things are useless, but we just have to like keep doing that, in my opinion. And we just have to also keep fighting emotionally rather than physically. We have to just keep making sure that we Democrats, we win the right way. And, it sucks that we have to go ass backwards, but with Gavin Newsom fighting for us, because he's fighting for us to gerrymander the states and stuff like that. I think Democrats should do the same thing too. Play with fire against fire and stuff like that. We can't no longer believe in the let's go when we go low, we go high. We have to go when they go low, we go lower. In my opinion, I hope that answers the question. If it didn't, I apologize.
Yeah, no. It absolutely does. It absolutely does. And I'm right there with you. I think there is a lot to be said as far as like that approach and that thought process of like, oh, everyone needs to be kind of docile or, have certain decorum. I completely agree. Give me a second. Guys, just again, FYI, for the people over on the tube, got another poll. Got another poll. I need to know what your thoughts are. So if you're over on the tube and you can see the poll, go ahead and cast your vote because I want you engaged in this conversation with us. Also, I'm going to bring in, darn it, where did you just go? Oh, I think they left again. I know there's someone I was waiting to get back here, so we're going to continue to wait. But we're going to keep things going again, guys. There's 7 minutes left on the clock to get it up to 110,000 likes. Keep tapping the screen. We still have $235 left in the nightly donation goal. So if you're interested in actually supporting the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Best way to support the live. Everything is accepted. Anything's appreciated. Trans man, coming to you. What about you? On that premise, as far as like when they go low, we go high. I love Michelle Obama. I do. I love Michelle Obama with everything in my heart. But I think that was one of the most detrimental catchphrases that has had the left in a vice grip for I don't know how long. And I feel like Donald Trump and the MAGA party specifically took advantage of that. They used the left's kindness as weakness. So, trans man, do you think that we should still seek to have decorum to go high? Or do you think we need to take them to hell? Because listen, I'm ready to drag them.
I think there's a good balance that we can have where I think we're still able to be like respectful to people, but also get to the level that they're using. I don't necessarily think we should go like below them in any sense. Nor do I think we need to keep taking the high road completely. I think we just need to meet them exactly where they're at.
What's your thought process then? Like, are you more so along the lines of like what Gavin Newsom is currently doing? Do you think that like decorum should be out of the door and like we push back and call them out? Like, what do you think is like the best approach as far as how we go about it?
I agree with what Newsom is doing. I guess that's kind of what I'm trying to say is like meet them exactly where they're at. If this is how they're going to speak to us, this is how we speak to them. I think that everything they do wrong, we still have like a due diligence to acknowledge that they're doing wrong and point it out. I don't think that makes us go lower than them in any way. I think it is like the humane, responsible thing to do is still hold them accountable. But I think if they're using like loopholes to get things passed, I think that we should be exploiting those same loopholes.
I completely agree with that. Football is back. What about you? Are you taking the high road with MAGA and the right, or should we drag them to hell? What's your thoughts?
Well, before I say anything, I do wish that there was a better Republican Party to your earlier point.
I do too. I legitimately do too.
Like, and by the way, I mean, I said I was independent, but I tend to vote left, but I was actually a pretty decent fan of Nikki Haley when she was running. I think she is maybe one of the better angels on their side. Unfortunately, they are all succumb to a cult at this point.
Can I speak to that for half a second?
Go for it.
So I am from South Carolina, and I was actually living in South Carolina while Nikki Haley was the governor. Now, while I don't agree with Nikki Haley on most things, I do think that she was a better candidate than Donald Trump. And hell, I think she was a better candidate than Joe Biden. She wasn't a better candidate than Kamala Harris, but she was better than both of those two old farts that were running. So anyway, I'm sorry.
Agree 100%. I even told my family that if it was Nikki Haley versus Joe Biden, I was going to vote for Nikki Haley.
A lot of people are. I'm telling you, a lot of people said that. Like, a lot of people said that. You're not in the minority with that.
But as far as to go low or high with the Republicans, the way I see it is this is their bed. They made it, and they're going to need to sit in it. If you want to make a nasty bed with the orange man, then that's the cost. That's the price you have to pay, and I think we should drag them where they at. That's how I feel about it. I mean, it's not like we put them in this bed. They put themselves in this bed not once, not twice, but 3 times. They've tripled down on this dude. And so it's not us dragging them. They're already in the mud, and we're just going after them where they're at.
Yeah, I completely agree. The term triple Trump is a thing now. So, like, yeah. All right. Coming to Kimberly. Kimberly, what about you? What do you think? Do we need to listen to our better angels and try to uphold dignity, or should we take them to the basement cellar?
I'm all for dignity and respect, but you know what? It's time to fight fire with fire. I really feel like it's gone so far downhill that it's going to take a lot of pressure to pull it back up. And I wonder about people like Newsom, who's trying to put the pressure on, and knocking himself out of the possibility of being a candidate because he's going to have so much rhetoric going against his name. So while I think we need to go balls to the walls, I really wonder what that's doing to our candidates.
Yep. I agree. The one thing that I don't worry about Gavin Newsom, because again, like Gavin Newsom, and let me go on the record. Let me go on the record for saying this.
Okay.
Until there's more clarity, Gavin Newsom has my support. I don't think he's a great candidate. I don't really necessarily like his stands, but I love his fight. I love his tenacity. I love his actual desire to push back, and not only push back just in the sense of like social media, but literally to say that, oh, you're going to play those gerrymandering games in Texas? We'll do it here in California, right? We're going to actually do all of these things to push back or whatever. And so while I don't necessarily think that he's an awesome candidate, and for the love of Jeebus, I hope someone better actually shows up, until further notice, he's got my support.
Yeah, I would love to see someone with the fresh perspective come up like Jasmine Crockett. I would just adore having her as president. I think she would be just way too awesome. We could handle it. She'd be so good.
Listen, I'm gonna keep it funky with Kimberly, because it's just me and you talking right now, I'm gonna keep it completely funky with you. Kimberly, they're not ready for Jasmine Crockett, because Jasmine Crockett is a sister.
They are not ready for Miss Crockett. No, ma'am.
That is a sister. They are not ready for that sister.
That is a strong woman, sticking right by her convictions. She speaks it out. She speaks.
Oh my gosh, she's so awesome.
She doesn't play. She's not playing with them.
Exactly. All right, give me 1 second. So, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I think they have her. She has them scared.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. All right, give me 1 second. So first and foremost, YouTube, I'm getting ready to go ahead and end that poll. So after I read off these super chats, If you have not actually voted in the poll, go ahead and vote now because I want to get in on your opinion. I want to introduce the 2 new people on the panel, and then we're going to keep it moving. So with that being said, guys, massive, massive, massive W's in the chat for before I do that, yes, W's in the chat for the TikTok chat. Yes, you guys did win. You TikTok chat, you guys are freaking awesome. You definitely hit that 110 prior to the 10 minutes. You got it. Yes, yes, yes. Celebrate. We all prove K wrong together. Anyway, W's in the chat for K Ray. I think it's pronounced KJ Ray. KJ Ray, who sent a $20 YouTube super chat to say, "Hey, money, rock on Santana." Or here, money, not hey. Here, money, rock on Santana. Thank you so much for that $20 YouTube super chat. Also, W's in the chat for, I'm just gonna call you Zoner. I think it's Sith and Zoner, but I'm just gonna call you Zoner. Zoner sent a $10 super chat to say, "It was like pulling teeth to get my good friend to vote. It's sad. I said, let your friends, family, and coworkers know that you're voting and how important voting is. He's finally voting." Listen, I think that's our responsibility, right? Like, we have the responsibility to ensure that people around us are voting. Like, we have to drive them, and I think that's super necessary. And like, it's our responsibility, especially because of the things that are happening now. Like, absolutely. And freaking W's in the chat, like a million, bazillion, kajillion W's in the chat for XX Dreamin' Ken Z XX, who sent a $100 YouTube super chat to say, I wish I could be more active in your live stream, but I'm currently working. Here's 100 to help your cause. I think you said you need 200, so here's half of that. Thank you so much for that $100 YouTube super chat. You are freaking awesome. Yeah, thank you. Holy smokes. Thank you. That is crazy. Oh, I missed this one. Also, W's in the chat for EC Raid 1913. You know, at the heart of every delta is a sigma. I'm gonna just leave that there. Who sent a $20 YouTube super chat to say, wish I could see the panel on YouTube. Listen, that's something that I was talking to Parker about, because Parker figured out how to do it, and I got to figure out how to do it as well. I want to get the actual the view of the panel. I'm gonna work on that. That's something that I need to fix. I want to get the view of the panel on YouTube. So just an FYI for the people on the TikToks. Once I get that figured out, they're going to be able to see you. So, you know, when you guys request up, make sure you got your game face on, because you're going to be YouTube famous. W's in the chat for everyone who actually sent that super chat. You guys are freaking amazing. All right, I just closed out this poll. The poll was, do you think the Democratic Party has done enough to earn your vote? And or, that should have been money. I said vote or vote. That should have been money. But 47% said yes, they earned the vote. 41% said no, do better. And 11% said vote and money. So again, I think there is a lot to be said as far as the Democratic Party, what they have or have not done, the current position as far as them being able to drive any type of encouragement when it comes to the people. And quite frankly put, they need to do better. They need to do better. I think that's it. Capture card and screen share. But I'm doing it through OBS. We'll figure it out later. All right. Guys, again, if you'd like to support the live, you can do so at all the pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Best way to support the live. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. All right. Eli. Hey, Eli.
Hello.
How are you, friend?
Oh, I'm doing.
All right, listen.
One foot in front of the other, you know?
Listen, left, right, left. Eli, all right, let's start with the basic questions. Do you fancy yourself as being someone who normally votes left, right, or someone who votes independent?
I don't think there's a party left enough for me.
Listen.
But yeah, I'll say left.
All right. And so that means with this past election, you voted for?
Who other than Kamala Harris?
I know that's right. And Eli, I know that you have a unique perspective, a different perspective than everyone else. Like you have an internal perspective, and one that I don't think a lot of people can appreciate because of multiple levels. But I'll say it anyway. Eli, what is your thoughts on the current state of our states?
Okay, so um, I think that, like, I like the energy, like everybody was mentioning um, Newsom, and I like how you put it because I'm not personally like a fan of Newsom. I never really cared for him as like I don't think I'd want him as my president, but I think that he's got the right idea. I think that he is making like every time Donald Trump goes low, he goes lower. He matches his energy and then some. Um, what I would say about this whole whether or not we should be what's the word? I don't know. Uh, I don't know what words we were using earlier, but about like being gentle and whatnot.
Oh yeah, basically just having proper decorum, right? To be,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So
Shall
this
Eli, shall we be proper?
no. No. So I'm gonna be the one. I don't know. This is my take, and I'm not like I want to say this. Please, when you hear me, I understand that I may have like an influence on folks on my platform. By no means is anything that I'm saying right now me encouraging you to act in any sort of way that would incite violence. Okay, so please don't take what I'm saying as and me encouraging you to do something foolish. But with that being said, I'm gonna say my honest and true thoughts of how I'm feeling about what's going on. Um, if this was any other period of time where we were dealing with the typical Republicans versus Democrats, then sure, decorum, fine. I still would have an issue with that because our Constitution, I think, needs to be completely. I know that we have to go through the proper channels of amendments and making sure that that goes through proper channels in order for it to be accomplished. But I think it needs to be completely destroyed as it is right now and rewritten because until that occurs, we will not have equity and we will not have a society that is beneficial for everyone because it will always be detrimental to Black people, period. And so, with that being said, the people that we are dealing with right now love that. They want, they want, they want us to be gone. Anybody that is not in those cute little camps that they're building. What we're dealing with is people that don't give a shit about our feelings. What
Oh,
we're dealing
Eli,
with,
this is late nights. My
yes.
mom is watching.
Oh, sorry, mom. They don't care about our feelings. They don't care about if we're going to be nice. In fact, that's what they want. They want us to protest peacefully. They want us to take things quietly while it's like the classic high school bully who does a lot of the slamming everybody against the lockers, stealing their lunch money, and then you continue to bring your lunch money every day and get your lunch stolen, and that's you're just going to get beat up. I absolutely do not think that there is any reason we have to be. We're dealing with literal white supremacists with
Yes.
literal and lazy eyes. And I think that my thought is that I need people to start wrapping their minds around that because they are not interested in playing nice, and so I have no intention of playing nice back.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Perfect, perfect. All right, give me a second here, Eli. Just an FYI, I know we have quite a few people in the box. After this introduction, we're going to start rotating a few of the people in. So if you're in the box and you're waiting to come in, give it a second. I'll get you in here in just a moment, and we're going to keep the conversation rolling. With that being said, Gucci. Hey, Gucci.
Hey, Santana.
How are you, friend?
I'm good. How are you?
Long time no speak. I'm good. I'm surviving. I'm thriving. I'm trying.
Same.
Gucci, do you fancy yourself someone to be a left-leaning voter, right-leaning voter, or someone that's more so independent?
Left leaning voter.
Wonderful, wonderful. So that means in this past election you voted for.
BB Harris.
Got it, got it. Gucci, what do you think about the current state of our states?
I am stressed
Mm. Why do you
every
say that?
day. Stressed. Because it feels like there's more losses than there are wins with this administration. And it's, I mean, scary.
Yeah, I think that you know what's
Like, it
tough
feels like they're
about
getting away with whatever they're doing, like most of what they're doing anyway.
what's tough about that, and if I can be like really honest, um you always like to think that there's checks and balances, right? And I talk about this all the time. We always think that there is a there's someone that's going to be able to step in and stop the bad guy, right? Stop the bad things that are happening, and things may be a little rough at times, but there's always going to be a hero who steps in and pushes back or whatever. And the more that I sit here and I watch what this administration is doing and the things that they're able to get past the Supreme Court, like the things that the Supreme Court literally allows them to get through, whether it's cutting budgets or firing people or hearing cases on birthright citizenship or taking up a case on Dred Scott, like it's all just, it seems like it's a never ending wave of evil and sadness.
Yeah.
But but I am I'm forever the toxic optimist. And the one thing that I will
Me too,
say,
unfortunately.
yeah, the one thing that I will say, right, is I believe in us. Like I was debating a MAGA supporter the other day, and he was like, "Do you believe in the Democratic Party?" And it's like, hell no. No, I don't believe in them at all, but I believe in us. And so, Gucci, I believe in you. I believe in everyone else on this panel. I believe in like us and what we're doing and our ability to come together, not only as a community, but just as people. And it seems like, and this is why I'm so mad at the Democratic Party. It seems like that the people have way more fight than the Democratic Party is even trying to muster it up, and it's absolutely infuriating. It feels like certain times we're the only ones fighting.
So here's where I think that the Democratic Party should have fought back, should have taken the gloves off, was back when Obama was leaving office, and the Republicans blocked him from appointing a Supreme Court judge,
Mm-hmm.
and they just let that happen
Yeah.
because that was how the Republicans were able to take over the Supreme Court, which was basically our last checks and balance.
It goes back to that whole premise of like playing nice all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right, Gucci. Yeah, we went down a rabbit hole. All right, give me a second. So I'm gonna start getting new people in, but before we do, I want to just kind of kick it to. Let's start with. Let's start with Jamaican Peruvian. Jamaican Peruvian. Before we go any further, or I want to give you an opportunity to kind of give us some parting words before I swap you out. And more so, I know we kind of talked about this a little bit, but I would love for you to give me your way too early 2028 prediction as far as who you would like to see at the top of the Democratic ticket.
For 2028, I would really love to see a wonderful woman. I mean, me as a Black Latino myself, of Jamaican and Peruvian descent, I feel like we need to have an African American woman in office because Jasmine Crockett is the legend. She will always go down in the books as a legend to me. I really hope and pray that the Dems, they start getting in gear and they just keep fighting to have women, uh, to have an election for a woman to run president and be president for those next 4 years from 2028 to 2032. I would like to see the women legacy keep striving and succeeding and going on rather than the men, because the men, they had their time, and it's pretty much what I want, just women to vote. And before I shut down and say my other last part, I just want to say New York, Wisconsin, all over the United States, Santana, acknowledge me.
Thank you for coming up, Peruvian gentlemen. I mean, Peruvian, Jamaican Peruvian. I appreciate you.
It's all good. Thank you, Santana. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Have a good one.
You too. Thanks.
Thank you. I agree. Like, I think there's a need for, and I don't know. I mean, maybe it's because the fact that I was raised by a black woman. I have 4 black women as older sisters. I married a black woman. Like, listen, you gonna get some shit done. Let's pass the country off to a black woman for a while. I bet you she'll fix this shit. I bet she will. I don't know. All right. Next, I want to get to football is back. Football is back. Any final thoughts for you? And what do you think? Way too early, 2028 presidential. Who would you like to see at the top of the ticket?
Well, I say I'm still broken up about Kamala, man, because like I really liked her a lot, and I'm hesitant to say run it back with her just because I feel like and it's nothing against her, but once somebody loses, it's hard to shake that off, unless you're Trump apparently. But anyway, I will say, I don't know. I'm almost kind of getting around to like some outsider picks, like Jon Stewart, stuff like that.
No. Well, it's your pick. I'm not gonna tell you no. It's your pick. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know, man. I feel like, hey, when they go low, we go low. So they went unconventional with Donald Trump, right?
Yeah.
Picking an outsider. So I say we stop. I say we give that a go and see if maybe we give an outsider a chance on our side.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Okay. All right. Well, listen, it's your pick. I'm not going to take your pick from you, but okay. All right. Thank you for coming up. I really appreciate you hanging out with us.
Appreciate it, Santana.
All right. Have a good one. And Kimberly, coming back to you. Any final thoughts? And also, hey, who would you have as your way too early 2028 presidential pick?
Jasmine Crockett.
I know that's
I really think she's got what it takes, and I'd love to see us get behind her. What I don't want to see is us spreading our love around between like 10 candidates or something. I think we need to get ourselves really, really laser focused and hone in on that one strong, for the people kind of person, and get them out there, get them in front of the people, let them see what it is that we're holding up against Donald Trump, and it's got to happen now. It's time.
Yeah, I do think there's a need to actually create excitement around someone, and not only just create that excitement around that person, but to really drive that person. The only problem that I have with that though is I think we have such a deep bench when it comes to the Democratic Party to the left that there's so many quote unquote options. So I don't know. I don't know if I want to say limited, But I do think that like we need to have focus sooner than later. So I think there's something to that.
I would love to see a strong black woman in office.
Mm.
I think it would do this country so much good that we don't even know how good we could have it if we really got behind a person who has the morality and the ethics and the fight to just go forward.
Yeah, I agree. You know what though? Like the one black woman that I would not be interested in having in office is Michelle Obama. And the reason why I say that is one is because she's already said that she doesn't have a propensity to run, right? She didn't like politics. But it's also the thought process behind why I push back on um, what football is back was saying.
Yeah.
I'm not really interested in like having someone who um, doesn't have the overall track record within politics and running governmental systems and things like that. Like I think that we need to. I do think there is a need to get back to some level of sanity, and for some, like I think the wildest thing is that the people on the right somehow convinced themselves that this failed businessman, just because he's not a politician, is the right way to go about it. I think we just need better politicians. I think we need more Donnies and less Trumps. So, like, I think that's the way to go about it versus just saying, let's just get someone who has not been in politics. I don't like that thought process at all.
Well, if we did that, I mean, we could all say Oprah, but I don't
Right.
know that that's going to be the direction that pulls everyone along.
Yeah.
We need to see more strength and more votes out there. We need to see more boots on the ground.
I hate that term. All right. Kimberly, thank you so much for
Well,
coming.
that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be out there knocking on doors and registering people to vote
Yeah,
because I see that as a possible solution.
I'm a little bit scarred, Kimberly. I don't know if you know, but one time me and some of my friends tried to unfuck some stuff and it didn't go well. And we all talked about having some boots on the floor or boots on something. I don't know. Anyway, Kimberly, thank you so much for coming up. I really appreciate you.
Thank you, Santana. Take care.
Thank you. You as well. All right, guys, we're going to keep it going. We're going to keep it going. Chat, tap the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to, like, we can do 200,000 likes. We can do 200,000 likes. Also, guys, we still have $235 left in the nightly donation goal. If you'd like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks For You. Santana Speaks For You is the best way to support the live. We've got 500 people hanging out here. If 235 people send $1, we can close out the nightly donation goal. Or if you're over on YouTube and you would like to support the live, you can do so with a YouTube super chat, and I will read that message out. Also, YouTube, keep liking the stream. Keep liking the stream. You know what? YouTube, if you like the engagement that I've been kind of trying to throw over your way with like the polls or the questions, only on YouTube, drop a 5. Drop a 5 in the YouTube chat if you want me to keep that going and get like some more poll questions or whatever over on that side. With that being said, let's keep it moving. Let's introduce the new people on the panel, and then we're going to open up this conversation a little bit more. And I want to get into identity politics. And for those who don't necessarily know what identity politics are, they are the things that, let's be clear, important things, but those things that have been used and weaponized and propagandized. I'll be specific. Donald Trump spent $215 million on anti-transgender ads to target less than 1% of the United States population. And with that focus, he was able to not only create a negative narrative around transgender people that the Democratic Party never responded to, but he was also able to drive the conversation. And now he's been able to parlay that into super hateful things like, I don't want to steal your thunder, Eli, but the situation is happening with Eli. Or even more so, the super hateful thing as far as like what the NAACP are doing to transgender people, as far as saying that they can't participate in this sport or that sport or whatever. So there's a lot behind that. Identity politics, whether we talk about quote unquote DEI or transgender people, or we talk about what else, other things. There are those things that are really important, but they use them as a weapon to stay away from the actual policies that they don't have. So we're going to get into identity politics. But first and foremost, Junie, how are you? Junie, are you there? I'm going to send you a request to come off mute.
Thank you so much. I'm new to TikTok. I have no idea what button I'm supposed to press.
You don't know how to use the old TikToks.
No, I'm younger than you, and I'm still too old for this. I have no idea how this app works.
No worries. Junie, do you fancy yourself to be someone who normally votes on the left, right, or more so independent?
I'm definitely left.
Okay, perfect. And with that being said, that means you voted for who in this past election?
Miss Harris.
Perfect. And last but not least, what are your thoughts on the current state of our state?
Awful. Absolutely abysmal. I feel like we have like what we're fighting against, right, is this like vocal minority, but it's continuing to grow because of everything we've like propagandized. Right. You know, like I need them to sit down and shut up, and I'm hoping that we can some sort of like get some education across to these people, like what you've been doing on your lives and stuff. I'm hoping that when we back a candidate, we could, well, one thing I'll say really quick, kind of tangential to what we were talking about with what we want in like a candidate, right? The United States used to be like super like socialist centered, like community forward. Like we were, you know, fighting to get union rights and stuff. And I think we just need to like educate people. We need somebody with a solid plan that will tell us, hey, this is how this is going to work. This is how we're going to be able to afford it. And this is how it's going to benefit your neighbors. And I need people to hear that, you know? That's where I'm at.
Yeah. I think so as well. And I think there is, it's interesting to see and really engage with people who aren't necessarily, and I hate to say it for lack of better words, they don't really deal in reality. And I said this the other day, I feel like they even more so, they come online and they lean into this kind of like false reality that they can escape to online. But I do think there's a need to figure that portion out. And with that being said, YouTube, I did put another question up. So if you see the poll over on YouTube, go ahead and vote on that poll. Let me know what you think. We'll read that out in a moment. All right, Junie, give me a second here. Melvin, coming to you. Melvin, how are you?
Good.
Wonderful. Melvin, question for you. Do you fancy yourself to be someone who normally votes on the left, right, or more so independent? Oh, Melvin, your MAGA Wi-Fi, your Trump mobile is breaking up, Melvin. I can't hear you.
No, Miss Harris. I vote blue all the way down, bro. All the way down. Blue all the way down.
All right, perfect. Melvin, what do you think about the current state of our states?
Right now, it's rough. This man got it. That orange man got it looking real bad right now. I don't know. I hate to go to the grocery store that time. I hate to go to
Melvin, is
the
that
gas
you?
pump. Me?
What was that?
Oh, that probably was me. Notification.
That's your notification?
Yeah.
I hope you don't have your ringtone on at work.
Almost that crazy. It's almost that crazy.
All right, go ahead, Melvin. You got it.
Yeah, but that's about it.
You know what? That was perfect, because I feel like that's every time I think about like the country, that's exactly what goes off in my head. What the hell? Anyway, yeah, I agree. Okay, give me a second here, Melvin. Next, coming to Dolphin. Dolphin, how are you?
Okay, Santana, how are you?
Wonderful. Dolphin, can you tell the people, are you someone that normally votes left, right, or independent?
Left.
All right, and so that means you voted for who in this past election?
I voted for the most wonderful, beautiful black woman in the world, the most educated one that we've ever had to run for president,
I know that's
Miss
right.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala
Miss
Debbie
Kamala
Harris.
Harris.
Kamala Debbie Harris. All right, perfect, perfect. And last but not least, what do you think about the current state of our states?
You mean the divided states of America? I don't know what the heck happened.
You said it,
I
not
don't
me.
know. I don't know what happened. Oh, wait, I do. A giant orange blob came down the escalator.
Mm.
What? I don't know what to do. It's literally, that's what we are now. We are no longer the United States of America.
I do think that there's something to be said about the fact that I think there's a lot of not only prestige, in which whether it was true or not, right? Ronald Reagan said that the United States of America is the shining city on a hill, and at least we believe that, right? There used to be some semblance of believing that this was the greatest country on earth. We used to believe that this was like, no place like America, and now it feels like the Pride Land when Scar took over.
I totally have that visual.
Yeah.
I'm a big movie person, Santana.
Yeah.
So it's like I
Same here.
equate everything with music and movies. Music and movies is my thing. So
Yeah, absolutely. All right, give me 1 second. Last but not least, MAGA cries hard. MAGA cries hard. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. Cries hard. Are you someone who normally votes left, right, or independent?
Left.
All right, and that means you voted for who in this last election?
Miss Harris.
All right, and last but not least, what are your thoughts on the current state of our states?
Honestly, right now it is absolutely disgusting, and I honestly believe that older white men are to blame. You can see it
on that one.
You can even see it in the Democratic Party, where when AOC was first becoming big, how the Democratic Party would try to even shut her down, tell her to be quiet, and it's definitely the old white men that are causing the divide in this country, and they're not ready for progressiveness, and they don't want to see it, and that's on both sides of the aisle.
Yeah, you know what? I'll say this, and I'll kind of add to it. I do think that, like I spoke a little bit about it last night, and I think the older generation, there's been a lot of contract breaking, right? I feel like Joe Biden broke the contract with the Democratic Party in this past election. I think that the older generation has broken a contract with the younger generation as far as selling them this American dream and saying one day we're going to pass this on to you. And now it's time to pass the baton, and they're just holding on to it as long as they can. They're like, I'll rather take this to my grave than give you the opportunity to have any of it. And so while it's easy just to say, oh, older white men, yeah, them specifically, but also I feel like there's enough blame to go around.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You see it in, like, I'm 35 years old, so I'm on the older spectrum of the millennials. But you even see it in our generation, which is really sad because we did grow up with all those promises. And yes, we are to blame because we've fallen into the old, I'm trying to figure out the words for it, the stereotypical, red, blue, and, you have to follow in your parents' footsteps, and what they believe is what they believe. So I'm trying to say indoctrination.
Yep.
And because I live in a red state, I live in Ohio. And just walking down the street or driving, you'll see, the older Gen Z that are finally able to drive and all that other stuff with Trump flags. And then you ask them, you say, where did you learn all this bigotry and all this racism and hatred? And they'll say, well, it's what I was brought up with.
Yep. I listen. I can't push back on anything you just said. All right, perfect. Give me a second here. All right, guys. Three things. One, YouTube. After I finish reading this stuff off, I'm closing up the poll. So this is your opportunity. Go ahead and vote in that poll. And I'm going to read that off. Number two, TikTok. I believe in you. I believe in you. I believe in you. Remember that. Remember that when I say this. TikTok, I believe in you. There's 509 of us hanging out on TikTok right now, and we're at 180,000 likes. And I believe in you. I believe in you so much. I'm going to say we got 10 minutes to get it to 250,000 likes. 250,000 likes in 10 minutes. I believe in you. Ready? Go. And last but not least, couple of W's in the chat. Massive W's in the chat for Nicole, who sent a $10 donation towards the nightly donation goal. Massive W's in the chat for Jawan, who sent $1 towards the nightly donation goal, saying, I wish I could give more. Love what you do. First and foremost, Jawan, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. When I say that, I truly mean that. It does not matter if it's $1, $5, $10. When I say anything is accepted, everything is appreciated, I absolutely mean that, and you are freaking far too kind. I truly mean that. Also, Nicole, I meant to say, Nicole said, keep it up. I can't remember if I said that or not, but W's in the chat for Nicole. W's in the chat for Anna. Anna sent a $25 donation towards the nightly donation goal, saying, please use this towards your nightly goal from a progressive Democrat staying in the fight. I know that's right, Anna. Listen, you and me, we're in this together. You and me, we're in this together. W's in the chat for Anna. And last but not least, guys, W's in the chat for Blue Canary, who sent a $5 donation towards the nightly donation goal, saying, thank you for keeping it real and sharing hope. Listen, Blue Canary, honestly, I really don't know any other way. I don't. There's only been a couple of times where I've been kind of hopeless, and lucky for me, I'm not online when I felt that kind of hopelessness. So I think I have a responsibility and an obligation to continue to look for the best possible way forward while pushing people forward. And yeah, I'm just gonna always try to share as much hope as I can. So thank you for that $5 donation, guys. That means we only have $194 left in our nightly donation goal. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks For You. Santana Speaks For You is the best way to support the live. Everything is accepted. Anything's appreciated. If you're over on the tube, getting ready to end that actual, the poll. But if you'd like to support the live, you can do so with a YouTube super chat. And I will read that out. Also, guys, freaking W's in the chat for Caleb. Caleb sent a $5 donation towards the nightly donation goal, saying, trans man on your panel now. So glad to have a spot here. Great discussion so far, and have a few points to bring up next turn. Listen, I'm coming to you. Literally, I'm getting ready to circle this thing back around and open it back up. I'm going to start with Eli. No offense to anybody on the panel, all right, because I love you all. I love you all equally, but like, okay, so when I say I love each and every one of you, like I love all of you at a 10, right? Everyone that's on the panel, I love you at a 10, but I love like Eli at a 10.5. So I'm gonna start with Eli. We're gonna start with Eli, and then I'm gonna pass it around. But guys, we only have $189 left in the nightly donation goal. Eli, coming to you first. We got to get into identity politics. We got to get into it because, like, I know you know, and you know I know, right? I mean, marginalized people have always been targeted. Marginalized people are under constant attack and pressure within this country. But do you think that there's a kind of a line that we need to somehow define, because the weaponization of those marginalized identities through identity politics? What do you think?
Yeah, actually, this kind of ties into that dream of who I would, if I could pick my, like, candidates, right, for voting. And I don't know if you're going to ask me that when I drop, but...
I am. So don't give it away yet. That's your way too early 2028 prediction, so you can't tell us yet.
Okay. Well, yeah, here's the thing. With identity politics, one of the things that I am concerned about, right, history is repeating itself. and it's repeating itself because marginalized communities get erased from history, and we're seeing it happen right now. One of the very first things that happened in January was the erasure of the entire trans community from the very monument that was one of the most foundational places where we protested, rioted back in 1969 for the rights that LGBTQIA plus members have today. And something that I'm concerned about is it's only, it's not surprising to any of us in marginalized communities that it's just continued to ripple effect. So like started with the T, we got erased from the Stonewall Monument, we got erased from the travel websites, and then they came after the B, and simultaneously, while that's all happening in the background, they're erasing Black history from the military, erasing women's history from the military, tearing down all the Black Lives Matter, like all the incredible monuments. They're changing the names of bases back to the Confederates. So we see all of this occurring and happening right now. What I have a big concern for is identity politics are like they've got a strong grip on what has literally caused. I mean, the whole reason why so many people voted for the orange blob, as Dolphin said, was because they decided that they hate people like me. They hate trans. And whether or not those things were rooted in any sort of most of these people, I think there was some survey. Most of these people have never even met a trans person. They just have some notion of what a trans person looks like, right? And it's easy to do that against us because there's so few of us, right? And when we my concern is there's not enough trans voices to stand up for like the trans community. We literally have to rely on our cisgender counterparts. But the same thing holds true with people who are here undocumented. They don't know the asylum process. The same thing holds true and has always held true with the Black community. And Indigenous people, Indigenous folks get erased all the time. And so my concern is moving forward, if we put the wrong Democrat into office, I have a strong concern that they're going to advance forward in a progressive way that still leaves some identities behind. That doesn't carry those identities forward, and typically it's going to be the ones that were the most damaged. We saw it happen after World War II. We saw it happen after even the Nuremberg trials. We saw that the GAY community and the trans community continued to be persecuted. They even by people that were not the NAZIs. And we also saw that because those people were handled properly, systematic racism was able to continue and carry on because those people were not handled correctly. And same thing after the Civil War. So it's a fickle snitch because mom's watching. Because here's the thing. And this is I'm gonna come back to this point when I talk about my dream candidates. But I think that it is my opinion that we need to say give them the middle finger.
Yep.
I genuinely think that there's enough of us that I think there are more of us than there are them. In fact, I know there are. And when you talked about the voting community that just didn't vote, if we got the voting community that
5 to
didn't
10
vote
million people.
and the community that voted third party, because those are the two areas where we lost this election.
Yep.
If we could get all of those people on board and give that middle finger of, okay, continue to do your thing with those identity politics, because guess what? When we get the right person in office, you're not going to be able to have your quote unquote free speech without consequences anyways. And we'll handle the important thing is that we handle these people that are up here shouting the N-word, shouting all these different slurs. The important thing is that the accountability piece needs to be like no other, like there has never been in history before.
Yep.
Or we're doomed to repeat this in 100 years from now too.
Listen, I will unalive on this hill. I will never let people forget they were MAGA. Right. I have no issue. And speaking of which, I got to go to this question that the YouTube answered for us. TikTok, I'm going to give you 2 minutes of overtime because you guys got so close. You're like 10,000 away. I'll give you 2 minutes of overtime just to run through this quick question and get this thought off. Let's get it to 250 by this 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. And this is, this is just me. I will never let people forget that the MAGA hat, the Make America Great Again hat, is the same thing as the Schnazi symbol. Like, there will never be a point where in the future, because I feel like they're going to try to whitewash history. They're going to try to sane wash this moment in time and blame it on, identity politics, blame it on populism, blame it on all those other things. But I absolutely refuse to ever let them forget that every single person that put on that red MAGA hat, you're just like in the 1930s when you put on the actual Schnazi symbol.
I take this will be the last thing because I was just going to mute up and then move on, but I do want to say that if you aren't already doing this, I highly encourage you to. I have been for the last 5 months or so. I take screenshots of every single, I'm not kidding you, every single person who at this point in time, if you have, as soon as they started doing unconstitutional things, as soon as they started taking families and ripping them apart, as soon as they started doing things that looked similar to the 1930s, I started, if you were on board with it, you are not, I don't care. You do not have a good moral compass. I take screenshots and then I write with my little, the little edit your photos. I will write racist or insular or whatever they did that specifically related to them. I take a picture of their profile. I take a picture of their username. And then if they're in a live, I take a screenshot of them in whatever live they were in to help jog my memory. I've compiled all of those and I would encourage other people to do it because I don't just do it online. I do it in person. If I see a Tesla, if I see one of those, specifically the icky ones made the ones I fucking whatever they're called, that look like trucks. I take
Cyber trucks, those things suck.
Yeah, I take
If you
pictures of
if you
those
drive a
with the license
cyber if
plate.
you drive a cyber truck, you're a nerd anyway, and not like a GT nerd, like the cool good nerds, but like nerds. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. I'm with you. We can't let them forget it. And the other piece is collect if you have any additional funds whatsoever. Local bookstores, get the books that are getting banned. Go to, if you're near the Smithsonian right now, go record everything that you can. Any museum, any national park, record it and save it to hard drives. Yeah, I agree, Sin. That's a really good point. But yeah, taking everything because they're going to erase it. They are erasing it.
Yeah.
Right now is our time to, we need to be recording it and taking every bit of it that we can and saving it because we cannot let them actually truly erase it. What we carry may literally be what we have to give to history in the future, as deplorable and disgusting as that is. We gotta keep that on us.
Absolutely. I think that's important. Okay, so let me read this off real quick as far as the poll, because this poll is actually super interesting. So the question, just for anyone who did not get to vote in the poll over on the tube, or if you're on TikTok and you didn't get to see it, the question is, are you interested in trying to reach MAGA and get them back on the right side of history? 99 people voted, and 62% said yes. 37% said no. 62% of the people that voted over on YouTube said they're interested in getting them back on the right side of history. That's surprising to me. And I'm not gonna lie, that makes me feel hopeful. That actually makes me feel hopeful. Now, I know it's an uphill battle, especially because of someone who actually, engages with MAGA on a normal basis. It's difficult, but it makes me feel hopeful. Also, W's in the chat for Joel. Joel sent a $5 YouTube super chat to say moderates are already saying this is happening to us because we went too far left. No, the fuck it didn't. No, it didn't. And it's like, no, the Schnazis are not leftist faults. I couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. For anyone to think that like MAGA is the response, or like where we are is a response of us going quote unquote too far left. Like I will unalive on this hill and say that I think that if Kamala Harris would have looked straight down the barrel of a camera and just literally said, Bibi Netanyahu is a war criminal, Israel is a terrorist state, and free Palestine until it's backwards, she would have been president. Literally. So no, I don't think that they went too far enough, because I think that on the left, you should lean into those things to make you special. You should lean into all of those things that make you special. Like, period. Also, W's in the chat for Emily, who sent a $2 donation saying, hey, I love watching your streams. I feel like I'm learning so much from you, and I wish I could send more. Again, Emily, this is for Emily. This is for any and everyone. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. When I say, please don't say that you wish you could send more, or like I swear, when I say anything is accepted and everything is appreciated, I really do mean that. I don't care if it's $1, $2, $100. I don't care what it is. Everything's appreciated because times are hard. You don't have to do it. Like, literally, you don't have to do this, and you're supporting the live. So you never have to apologize for anything. Thank you. I'm trying to learn as much as possible from all sources. I actually sent you a message on Insta. Oh, I'm not that good at checking messages on Instagram. I'm way better at checking them on TikTok. But I'll go look. On Insta, asking for a place to start learning all of this. If you get a chance to respond, I'll be so grateful. I got your username here. Keep up the good work. You're giving me, and I'm sure others, hope for our children and the future generations. Absolutely. Listen, I will go and look for that specifically. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm really bad at checking anything on Instagram. Not that good on it, but I'll go check it, and I promise you I'll reply to your message. Thank you so much for that donation. All right, guys. That means that now we only have $185 left in the nightly donation goal. 531 people hanging out here. We can close that out if 185 people send $1. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Best way to support the live. Everything is accepted. Anything's appreciated. Transman coming to you. Gucci, then you. Dolphin, MAGA Cries, Melvin, and Junie. Going in that order. Transman, floor is yours. What do you think? Identity politics? Yes, no, maybe so. Where do we stand?
I pretty much agree with everything that's been said by you and Eli. I don't really know how much more I can add. Honestly, that wouldn't just be repeating.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, that's fair. You said there was something else that you wanted to speak on. Did you want to take that time to speak on that other topic then?
Yeah, I can. I was kind of curious on specifically like your opinion on what people can and should be doing, and like the best way. I felt like we kind of skipped over like the reaching voters, and I definitely think that people need to be doing a lot more, but I'm kind of curious on what your opinion on like what people should be doing. And what do you think was one of the biggest hangups in terms of why people didn't turn out to vote, honestly?
See, now that's a little bit tough for me because, or you know what? I'll say this. I think that we need to be. I think we need to be engaging people and letting them know, like, hey, um, we need you. I think that a lot of people don't vote because they don't feel like their vote counts, and I don't think that they think that their voice is heard. But I think it's the responsibility of those who know better to do better. And since we know better, we have to help those other people do better. So it's having those tough conversations and not letting someone send the super chat earlier and said like, hey, I pulled my best friend, like it was pulling teeth to get my best friend to go vote. But I think that like we have to do those things. Like we have to engage our relatives, the ones that don't normally vote. We have to engage our friends who think that voting might not be necessary. We have to engage like the people around us. I mean, I know speaking from the black community, and we have a rich history of like trying to get each other to actually vote. Like us getting together in like a bus and all going to vote together. Like all of these things. So I think that's what we do. We continue to reach the people who don't. I'm not going to say they don't want to be reached, but the people who for some reason doesn't feel like it's important or it's not going to change anything, we have to figure those people out, and we can't just give up on them. Does that
And
answer
I
your question?
definitely, yeah, no, I agree with that. I think the two biggest things, at least that I have seen in my own area, have been like a lack of education. I think politics in general need to be like a core fundamental of education in general. I know defunding education isn't helping that. Um, and then in terms of like rallies and protests and political signs in yards, using social media, do you think that having politicians have more of a like social media presence would be a good thing in
Yeah,
terms of getting people more educated? I
yeah.
started watching like you, Dean Parker, like a month ago,
Hmm.
and it's gotten me so much more knowledge and like determination to get knowledge on everything. And I feel like social media is the best way to do that, but I feel like I guess there's kind of a disconnect in the people who are running for office and the types of um, material and education and reach out that the voters need.
It's only a disconnect on the left, and I say that in the sense of like the right, they figured it out. That's why the left has had such a hard time with the quote unquote new media. And I give this example all the time. I was in LA with a bunch of other creators, and we went to the Bernie AOC rally, and they had us standing on a stage to the left and just kind of like standing there. And it was creators who had millions of followers and me with a couple of thousand. And we were just standing there, and they didn't have any type of real purpose, direction, guidance, or anything for us, right? And then after Bernie Sanders and AOC finished speaking, they moved us all to like this little area where Bernie Sanders and AOC could walk past us and there could be a photo shoot. Like they could get a picture. And not understanding the capitalization of quote unquote new media is the worst thing that the Democratic Party can do. And that's why you see the Republican Party leaning into like the Aiden Rosses. That's why you see the Republican Party leaning into even like Joe Rogan, like leaning into the quote unquote new media, whether it's actual, social media or whether it's podcasts or like the Call Me Daddy podcast. Like people should be banging down the door to get on that, right? I mean, like I think there's a huge miss when it comes to what's happening on the left, and the right is like picking it up, which is really tough to say. So, all right, we're gonna keep it moving because I want to make sure I hear from everybody else. Also, fucking massive W's in the chat for Kay. Kay sent a $25 donation towards the nightly donation goal, saying thank you for your calm sanity. Kay, thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you for supporting the live. Thank you for being amazing. Guys, that means we're only $150 away from closing out our nightly donation goal. I know we can do it. There's 543 people hanging out. I have faith in us. I have faith in us. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links and the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Best way to support the live. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a YouTube super chat. Gucci, floor is yours. Identity politics. Does it have a time, place, and space, or is it something that we need to kind of stow because it's being weaponized?
I think we need to, I guess, put a focus on it because it is being weaponized. If we don't, we just give the right, just, I guess, for a free, just free will to like just run whatever narrative they want. And I think that's where there's a lot of misinformation flying around with that. And if we don't lean into it, we let them believe whatever they want to believe. If that makes any sense.
So let me ask: is it more important to push back on it when it's not true, or is it more important to like face it head on and drive it?
Face it head on and drive it.
Really?
We can't be a reactionary. We can't. We need to drive the narrative.
Okay. That's interesting. All right, give me a second. Dolphin, what about you? Identity politics. What's your stance on it?
I don't like it when people judge people. And I was bullied my whole life because I was born physically disabled. It's a different kind of, identity from most people. Well, not most people. I mean, gosh, I'm a little nervous on talking about this one.
Just take your time, friend. It's okay.
Yeah.
We're right here with you.
Thanks. No, this one bothers me. It's really, really personal to me because I sat there in my living room and I watched a candidate for presidency make fun of a person with cerebral palsy live on stage, making fun of, John McCain. The identity politics that this man has brought, this toxicity, hurts my heart beyond compare. I just, I don't know when did this start happening? I mean, it's insane now. It's to the point where we have little kids going up to other little kids and calling them names. I mean, don't get me wrong, yes, that. But I mean, disgusting names now. Because of the things that they are not just hearing at home, but they are hearing the president or news or commercials or what is that, PragerU is telling them. And it's tearing everything apart.
Yeah, no, listen, thank you for saying that. I said this last night and I truly mean it, all right? While I do think that we have to fight and we have to be willing to quote unquote play dirty the way that they play dirty, and I mean that in the sense of like gerrymandering, right? In the sense of like calling out their BS and not being polite and who like letting them clutch their pearls if we curse. Like I think that we have to do all that. But I think there's no way, place, shape, or form that we should ever sell our soul for power. For anyone that was willing to watch Donald Trump make fun of people with disabilities, for anyone that was willing to listen to Donald Trump disrespect women by calling them pigs, for anyone that was willing to listen to Donald Trump say undocumented immigrants are poisoning the blood of America and call them varmin, and then still say, well, I can vote for this guy because he's the lesser of two evils. I can vote for this guy because he's going to cut my taxes. I can vote for this guy because I still think that he's going to do something good. You've completely lost your moral compass. I don't want to be like you. There's no need for us to be like them. We can fight back. We can be tough. We can be determined. We can be defiant without losing our moral compass. So that's just my thoughts on that. Junie, floor is yours. Floor is yours. Identity politics. What do you think? Do we need to embrace identity politics, or do we need to try to draw a line so we can keep the right from weaponizing it?
I agree with a lot of what's already been said. I think we definitely need to be the ones like steering the narrative, and I think we need to, at this point, we have to play catch up, right? Like I'm also trans and queer and terrified every day I'm breathing and angry and sad, and I think right now what something I've really noticed is like the people that we're trying to get to come back down to reason are like super emotional. They don't know that they're emotional. They're always like facts, not feelings, right? But you have to realize anti-intellectual is like the entire like MAGA brand. So if you can't speak to someone with actual facts, you speak to them with numbers that you've made up and then attach that to some sort of stigmatization. And like, you know, all of like black people, queer people, anybody that's not, you know, cis white heterosexual has like been a fall guy for everything, right? So that is obviously what they're going to continue to try and happen. It's what we've seen with the mass deportations. People see somebody that speaks Spanish and they immediately think, oh, okay, this person isn't here legally. Like we need to remind these people that they're talking about their neighbors. they're talking about their friends and family, whether they know it or not. I don't think they realize that because the right has successfully dehumanized us to such a point, you know?
Yep. I completely agree. Completely agree, Junie. Thank you for that. All right. Just an FYI for the people in over on the TikToks. Got another poll for you. Got another poll for you. Got another poll for you. It is a question that I need answering. So, guys, not TikTok. I'm sorry. YouTubes. Check that question out for me. And once we get through the rest of the panel, I'm going to come back. I need to know what you think, because I just thought of that just now, and I'm wondering where we stand on that. Also, guys, Debbie's in the chat for Nicole. Nicole sent a $5 donation saying a little more. You're right about the Dems needing to collab with influencers like you. Like, okay, cool. I would love to collaborate with the Democratic Party. I think I could have a place in a space. It's funny. While I was in LA, I was having lunch with IRI. I'm really important. And he and I were talking. And he and I are like, he's a little bit older than me. And we were talking about the interests as far as the older generation versus the younger generation. And he and I kind of landed in the same position. Like, yes, we're willing to do whatever, you know, the party needs or whatever to hopefully push things forward. But man, they need to lean on these young people. So, like, I think it's cool that they want to work with me. I would work with the Democratic Party. But holy hell, if nothing else, like, figure out how to work with the young people. Like, the young people is like they're the ones that need to be driving this. They're the ones that should be the face. Like, I have no problem with being like, you know, the cool uncle or whatever, but like the young people they're the ones that should be driving all of this. So, W's in the chat for Brenda, who sent a $20 donation saying Harris chose the best VP option in Waltz, but the campaigned with a warmonger Cheney instead of Bernie, who offered. D's really need to stop representing Wall Street like ours. You're absolutely right. Again, they conflate things so much. It's weird how the lines are so thin between like the Republican Party and the Democratic Party, and I refuse to actually ever step across that line. Thank you so much for that $20 donation. Guys, that means we only have $125 left in our nightly goal. I know we can clear it out if we got 125 people send $1. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links in the link here in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Best way to support the live. Everything's accepted. Anything's appreciated. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a YouTube super chat and I will read that out. Coming to you now, Melvin. Melvin, what do you think? Identity politics, does it have a place in our country? Yes, no, maybe so. Melvin, I'm going to send you a request to come off mute. Blackfire, don't you put that evil on me. My wife would not let me run for anything. I'll go on record right now. Listen, I would do it, but you guys got to convince management. If you guys can convince management to let me run for office, I would do it. Melvin, are you there? Melvin going once. Melvin going twice. Melvin, I feel like Melvin might be asleep. So guys. Thank you for coming, Melvin.
You got rid of the wrong person.
Oh shoot, Junie, I'm sorry. Okay,
Sorry.
come back, Junie. Dang it, my bad, Junie, my bad. That was some bad magic. Holy smokes.
Santana.
Yeah.
Tell me how you really feel.
That just made me think about something that I meant to say, and I hate to like speak out of turn, but
Go ahead, you got it.
On the note of you running for office, there was a lot of people that were asking me to run like for office, and not gonna lie, like because of how adamant I am and how like intentional I feel, like I don't think that I'm by any means qualified to be like, I'm nowhere near as qualified as Kamala would have been for president, but because of the way that I love people and the way that I want to like literally like reconstruct this whole country, I wish that I could like implant what I wish that I could do with the country into like somebody else that they could run, because of identity politics. For you and I, it's a lot bigger than just somebody saying, hey, like, can you run for this seat of office? Like, we have Isaiah, we have Jasmine Crockett, we have all these like incredible people that are running, right? But like, it isn't lost on those of us that are marginalized, that is not just asking a person like Santana or asking a person like myself. It's a immediate putting that person like in the direct face, because of identity politics, and so that is kind of what I wanted to just put out there. For me, my government name, I would never get respected as Eli. I would get completely misgendered. I would get called by my government name given at birth. All that kind of stuff, and then like it's not my lane to speak on the oppression of Black people, but we also know the danger of putting Black people at the face of like leadership and stuff. So if identity politics wasn't an issue, that wouldn't be a problem. But I meant to bring that up at the time. And
no, that's a great point. And I think a lot of people don't necessarily get that, right? The actual like I think a lot of people have kind of an understanding as far as how tough it is to run for office, but then People don't understand intersectionality. They don't understand like how exposing yourself to that takes it to a whole nother level. So you spot on, spot on. Okay. MAGA cries. MAGA cries. Coming to you. Identity politics. Yes, no, maybe so.
I think identity politics played a huge part in this election, and you kind of see it every time because I watch you, Parker, and Dean a lot. And the first thing people come up and say is anti-trans people or anti-immigration. And honestly, he won on hatred. And honestly, I think we should start pushing back on all the like real hard. I am real big on the Democratic politicians have laid back and allowed trans people and marginalized communities to take this heat, and they have allowed it to turn into just disgusting rhetoric, and there is no real pushback from the Democratic politicians. I have a 13-year-old trans son, and we've actually had to homeschool him because we live in such a disgusting area. And explaining that to him was incredibly difficult. Like, now we have to tell him that he can no longer go because he loves school. And we've had to tell him that he can no longer go and make friends in person and be around people his own age because of POSs. And it's just, we have to push back.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I think that a lot of people, and I hate to say it like this, but a lot of people just don't give a damn unless it actually directly affects them, right?
100%.
And listening to you and your story, and listening to Dolphin and their story, and then Trans Man and Junie and Eli, and can't forget Gucci. Like, I think there is a, you have to be like willfully ignorant to not be able to engage in the understanding of the story that other people have, and then at the same time show any type of empathy. Like it's a complete lack of empathy.
Yeah, especially when they want to sit here and they want to preach morals. How is it morally right to tell a 13-year-old boy that because he wants to identify as something that he was not assigned at birth is wrong and he's going to hell and, you know, he's a terrible person? He's 13. That's absolutely disgusting.
Let me ask you this, and then I want the rest of the panel to answer this question as well. I guess MAGA cries just directly to you first and foremost is well, are you okay?
Oh yeah, I'm good. I'm good. It was a little shock coming out, you know, when he did come out and say that he wanted to identify as a boy. But, you know, we fight the fight and we do what we can and we support him 100%.
Okay. So I guess the question is for me, and this is what really sparked it. And I think I'm a little bit different than others because I don't necessarily like it would take a lot for anyone to be able to do anything to me for me to get upset. And the people that really know me and the people that's close to me know that like I'm so quick to forgive and so quick to like move on. I really don't care. Like you can try to say harmful things to me. You could even do things and like I might be upset in a moment, but I get over it like super quick. But the thing that I can't deal with and the hardest thing for me to actually try to deal with is when people that I care about are harmed. And understanding that like everyone on this panel has some type of proximity to marginalized groups. I guess the question I have for everyone is, what are you doing to reduce harm for yourself or the ones that are most important to you in this day and age? And MAGA cries, I'll start with you.
Well, like I said, sadly, at least right now, until hopefully the Democratic politicians will start pushing back as hard as they need to. I hate to say it, but he's 13 years old. Um, so we've kind of had to shelter him, because he's not really able to tell anybody but his family and close friends, and even some of his family have had a problem with it. So, I mean, it sucks. He should be able to go out there and say what he needs to say, and be who he needs to be. But but I mean, reality is, he's 13 years old. He's not built for taking the type of bullying that grown men and grown women will do and say. So, I mean, like I said, it's sad, but we've had to pretty much shelter him.
Yeah, yeah. That's tough. That's a tough one. Okay. Dolphin. What about you? What are you doing to minimize harm to either yourself or the people around you that's important to you?
Well, um, I do one of my favorite things that I like to do. Um, please don't think of this as me plugging anything, okay? But
Listen, listen. Apparently, I'm an online grifter, right? I'm within this last week. Apparently, I've been called an online grifter, and I've also been called racist towards white people. So, like, do you, boo? No, go ahead. You got it.
okay, anybody that knows me, knows that I'm a joker. I like to spread joy, happiness, and my lives are my mental health breaks for everybody as well as myself. It's music, dancing, fun, positivity. You've even popped into my live a couple of times. I've seen Matt
Absolutely.
there, yeah, a couple few. So I mean, that's what I do. Or I'll sit down and I'll write a poem if I feel like I'm struggling, or if I really need to like really get away, is like when I go to like my movie side of my basement where I have a 320-inch movie screen and a projector and all sorts of stuff.
What?
So yeah, it's wall to wall, the screen. Yeah.
So wait. So what you're saying is movie night at your place?
If you'd like.
All right. That's good though. No, seriously, I like the I like that. I think that's super important. Okay. Perfect. One
Mental
second.
health matters.
It
Mental
does.
health matters.
It freaking does. It freaking does. Um, Transman. What about you? What do you do to reduce harm or protect yourself or the people around you that you care the most about?
For myself, I've been just trying as much as I can to educate myself on my rights and how I can help get other people educated. Um, and then just seeking out and building a community has been the most important thing, especially in like the local area where I live. It's not easy to find like-minded people and safe people. So finding people on the internet, or whatever I can do in order to get that sense of community and togetherness that gets me through the day. And then in terms of like, I have a really hard time standing up for myself when I'm being um, attacked or judged or whatever the case may be. But I will take every opportunity that I come across to stand up for other people and their rights, even if it's not something that I guess like directly affects me, in order to keep spreading that like message.
Yeah, absolutely. And for me, I find the most pleasure in actually doing things for others, and so I get that standing up for other people's rights. And I think I've said this a million times. I think it's important for us to protect each other. So I think you nailed it. Perfect. Junie, what about you? What are you doing to protect either yourself or the people around you that's most important, or minimize harm?
So I've always been like really like education forward and like trying to educate people around me, and I really like talking about like queer stuff in general. Um, and this has like thrown me for a loop. I have really bad anxiety. I'm currently actually working on relocating, and then I have some friends in that area that run some like not run things, but they help with relocation. So I'm hoping to help other people, you know, like me that are not able to get themselves to some sort of safety. I actually started this entire platform after the election and after all of the executive orders came out in January because I figured it would give me some sense of being able to communicate my message to people and also something to distract myself because I have trouble focusing on one thing at a time. So like when I'm like live streaming, I am forced to focus on only the screen in front of me.
You do that?
And
I'm
it's
like
helped with
all
my
over the place.
communication and patience. No, yeah, like it is the only thing that gets my like ADD to lock in is because I have to look at chat and I have to look at nothing else. If I look at my phone, it's all over. I'll get distracted for 25 minutes. Um, but yeah, that's kind of been my thing is trying to stay sane, but not really like I don't feel like as a person that's like really loud and you know able to kind of put my thoughts together and wanting that like educational history and stuff. I don't feel like I have the luxury to relax sometimes, so I kind of forget how to.
I get it. I get it.
um,
Absolutely. No, that's a great thing. I mean, finding a way to focus yourself is always protecting yourself as well. So, okay. Perfect, perfect. Gucci, what about you? What are you doing to minimize harm or protect yourself or those people around you that you care most about?
Um, One of the things I guess I've been doing mostly is trying to educate myself more, and then passing on that education to people around me. And I have noticed a change in my friends specifically, and like how much more involved in politics they are.
Mm.
Um, Also, just like disconnecting from the internet every once in a while. I
Yeah.
like to read. I've been reading a lot of books, um, and just I don't know, trying to keep my head straight, trying
Yeah.
to keep from losing my mind and in anger
Yeah.
of like what's going on about what's going on.
Yeah. No, I think that's super important and finding that space, that way to get away and disconnect and kind of unplug because the internet is an ugly place. So
It really is.
people are I hate fake tough guys. Okay. And last but not least, Eli. Eli, what about you? What are you doing to protect yourself or minimize harm for you or the people that you care most about?
For myself, I'm gonna give like a brief one for myself, but I'd rather speak to what I'm doing for others. Um, so for myself, something I did right away, like not even waiting for the election results right away, was draw a very very hard boundary. Um, I've got people on social media that I've been friends with since like high school, like as far as Facebook or like people that I've met in the military or whatever. When I saw the things they'd post, some people that I thought were really close friends, that I thought had different like kind of moral compasses, I challenged them and I said, hey, like I understand that you're posting MAGA stuff. You understand that they're very anti everything that is me, and you tell me you love me. Um, what the fuck? And the hard boundary was drawn. And for my mental health, even though it was a hard decision to make, not really a hard decision, but like a hard move because of that love that I had felt for them, it was a lot better for my mental health to get rid of them from my life because I don't want people in my life that don't love me. And voting against my rights is voting against tons of other people's rights, and so I removed them, and that helped immensely because it made room for the community that I have gained since then, i.e., the people I'm around right now.
Absolutely.
And then what I do for others, there's, I mean, I'm gonna just kind of show you, give you an example really quick, because this is what makes me feel fulfilled. MAGA cries. I don't know your name. I don't know anything about you, but I sent you a follow, and I saw that now we're mutuals. Your son has an incredible, incredible parent, and I am so beyond proud that people like you exist. You give me hope. You I need you to know that your son is what gives me the strength. I mean, my siblings that are my age and that have come before me, they definitely give me strength too. But the future generation of marginalized kids, and obviously I have a soft spot for trans kids, especially with the way they've been spoken about. I can't imagine what it's like to be a parent right now. But I just need you to know that your son is what gives me the strength to keep showing my face, to keep putting myself out there, to keep fighting every single day, because I want a better future for him. I don't want him to have to deal with what's going on right now, and I'm never going to give up on him. So one, I offer you any time that you want to ask me. I don't care how invasive you might think the question is. I genuinely, you get a free pass. I don't care what it's about. I don't care if you don't know how to word it. I don't care if you feel anxious or nervous or weird asking me because I'm a stranger. I promise you that you can ask me however you need to. I'm a 32-year-old adult. And as long as it's coming from you, you can ask me however you need to. And I'm happy to help talk you through anything that might feel a little bit uncomfortable, to maybe have that conversation with your kid. Additionally, if you would just let him know that he's got a big brother out there looking out for him, and I'm not going to give up on him. That is quite literally the one of the ways that I do stuff, because it's a mutual watering. It keeps me going, and
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. I think that's important. And I think pouring into other people is like one of the best things that you can do. And I don't know, like sometimes I feel guilty about how good I feel like doing good things for other people. But I completely understand that premise and where you're going. So what I'll say is, to kind of wrap up that thought, the thing that the reason why that question was needed is just to kind of hammer home the point that at all points, even if we're not thinking of ourselves, we need to be thinking of others and how we can help protect and take care of each other and others, and find a way to do something positive for someone else and for yourself. Like, that's important. That was it. That was the point of this. All right. So this is what I'm gonna do. I got a thank you to read out. YouTube, after I finish this thank you, I'm closing the poll. So if you have not voted on this poll, go ahead and vote. And then I'm going to read the information in the readout from the poll. And then we're going to go around the panel and do really quickly, the 2028 way too early prediction. And if you're in the request, excuse me, if you're in the request, I'm going to quickly swap everyone out that's on the panel and get a whole fresh batch of people. So if you've been waiting to get up, if you've been thinking about coming up, if you want to get up, this is the last chance for tonight. This is the last time that I'm going to be swapping out people for the panel for tonight. So if you've not done so, go ahead and grab your spot. With that being said, W's in the chat for Brian. Brian sent a $10 donation towards the nightly donation goal, saying, love what you do, keep it up. Brian, thank you so much for that $10 donation. You are freaking awesome. I really, really appreciate you. Guys, that means we only have $115 left in the nightly donation goal. I know we can close it out. There's 556 of us hanging out. First and foremost, if you're here right now, you're not following me. If you see the word follow on your screen at the top, make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you're following me, because if you don't, then you'll miss great panels like this. Make sure you hit the follow button. But if 115 people just send $1, we can close out our nightly donation goal. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks For You. Santana Speaks For You is the best way to support the live. It's on the bottom of the screen somewhere. Everything is accepted. Anything's appreciated. If you're over on the tubes, which I'm going on and ending that poll now. You can send a YouTube super chat, and I will read that out. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, I figured out how to put the link to the link tree as a pinned comment on YouTube, so it's there as well if you want to go through that route and support. All right, so close out the poll on YouTube, and the question was, is gaining back the power of the country worth losing who we are as a people? 124 people voted, and 66% said no. 33% said yes. So 66% of people over on YouTube said no. Gaining back that power is not worth losing who we are. I think Kay is gone. Kay, are you still here? I think Kay is gone. Yeah, Kay's gone. Okay, cool. She's not. All right. Hey, like that Unfuck America tour when like Z and Destiny and those weirdos, like for them to actually continue to actually lean into slurs and like misogyny and racism and think that's okay just because you think that that's the way about going about getting some type of political power, you're the worst of worst. Like you're absolutely the worst type of people, and losing your soul just to gain political power is the worst thing that you can do. I said it. All right, cool. Junie, coming to you. Way too early, 2028 presidential pick. Who would you like to see at the top of the ticket?
I'm gonna be so for real. I'm still catching up on politics. My red flag is I don't really look at things until they're relevant to me. So a lot of these names thrown around, I'm really not familiar with.
Not you saying that you wait until the last minute.
Yeah. I'm trying to be better about it. I'm getting there, right? But I'm really excited about Zorn's win. I know it's never going to happen. It would be so cool. But the reason I'm like worried that it would never happen is because like our biggest problem is like 10% of the country right now are schnazis that hate Muslim people. So, but like I just really want to see someone with really like I was saying earlier, like strong like socialism. Like I just want to help each other, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would love that type of candidate. I think that's the type of candidate we need. I don't think that's the type of candidate we get, but darn it, I feel like that's what we need. But anyway, Junie, thank you so much for coming up and hanging out with us this evening. I really appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. It was really fun.
Absolutely. Have a good one. Transman, what about you? Way too early 2028 prediction. Who you got? Or not who you got, but who would you want?
I'm really hoping for AOC or Crockett.
Yeah. I would love to see one of them. I would love. I'm not gonna pick. I was gonna try to pick, but I refuse. So whatever. I think that's a great duo, a great option. So absolutely. Thank you so much for coming up, Transman. I really appreciate you hanging out with us this evening.
Thank you so much for having me. The community, since the community has really helped.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right. Dolphin, way too early predictions. Who you got?
Okay. After I give you my way too early prediction, can I give you a little something that you might want to bring up to MAGA that they might be a little touchy about because it just happens to be something that I hear them complain about constantly on this damn house.
Listen, I'll take it. They're already super sensitive.
Yeah.
I
We
will
already
take
know.
it.
They've been in their fifi since they've been born.
Their fifis and their tum-tums are strong.
I know. Okay, so my my ticket would be Gretchen Whitmer and Gavin Newsom.
Okay. I'm gonna let you have your ticket. I'm not gonna push it back on anybody's ticket. That's your ticket, okay? Okay. All right. Sorry, floor is
Oh no,
yours.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna try to make this fast because I don't want to make it too long because people are waiting.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm gonna try to do this like I did on RTP's live. Um, remember how he always said he said day one he wanted to be a dictator.
Mm-hmm.
Then just recently, then just like when they want to bring up their 2A rights, bring up the dictator thing, bring up the he wants to take the pews first, due process later. Then the thing about him literally saying it, and just the other day when Pam Bondi said that they were lowering misdemeanors and
Mm-hmm.
they were gonna make them felonies,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then 2 days
Yes.
ago, Trump posted that in DC, the people that were arrested, the criminals and blah blah blah,
Mm-hmm.
they've taken away all their pews. So maybe you should start telling them that he's gonna be coming after them.
Well,
Because
and
I don't know
I,
about you, but
I've already
I've already
did
done
that.
connected.
I've already did
What?
that. Like literally, I tell them Donald Trump's the last president to actually infringe on your Second Amendment right with the bump stop ban, and also he told Mike Pence that he wanted to take away the pews first and give due process after, and they don't care. Like they don't care about that. Like this is the problem that I have with MAGA. They claim that like this is their red line. That like this is the red line, whether it's
Yeah,
protecting
yeah.
kids, whether it's pews, whether it's like all of, and they don't have red lines. They just find
I thought
excuses.
I thought I had a good one. I really
It,
did.
I,
I thought I
it,
had a good one
like it's for a normal
because
person, yes.
yeah, well, the reason why I thought it was a good one, honestly, is because of the fact that the words dictator came out of his mouth, and maybe
Hmm.
that they want that we want one. You figure maybe you might be able to turn at least the ones that aren't cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs around with
I've
that
told him
one.
that as well. Like I told him, he said that he wanted to be dictator on day one. Well, he's just joking. They listen, the way that
Yeah,
they twist into a
yeah.
pretzel to justify like the actions of Trump is astounding. So I don't know. Anyway,
I just
Dolphin.
thought that would hit him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop, but I thought that one would touch him though.
Yeah, yeah. I appreciate you
All
so
right,
much. Thank you for coming up.
you have a good one.
You as well.
Did you get did PayPal ever come through?
Wait, what was
That
your?
no. The other, it was like 2 days ago. I left a message. I was like, check. I was in a Cash App. I said, check your PayPal, and the message didn't appear.
Oh, yes. I gotta go back. For some reason, they changed how it is, and now you have to sign in to see the whole message. So let me make a
Oh,
note
okay.
to myself,
Yeah,
or
because
actually,
I've
hold
been
on,
free.
hold on, hold on. Management, hi. Can you remind me to check the message, please? Please, thank you. All right, I'll make sure that
I've
she'll
actually
make sure to
I've
check it.
been I have been literally freaking out about it. You'll understand in my message. Thank you for having me. I'll give you a wee before I drop. Wee.
Thank you so much. Have a good one. Guys, W's in the chat for Marissa. Marissa sent a $5 donation towards the nightly donation goal, saying, "Love what you do." Marissa, thank you so much for that $5 donation, guys. We only have $110 to close out the nightly donation goal. I have faith in us. 110 people send $1. Boom, we close it out. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Santana speaks for you. Best way to support the live. Everything is accepted. Anything's appreciated. Over on the YouTube, you can send a YouTube super chat if you like to support the live. MAGA cries. What about you? Your way too early 2028 prediction for president.
So I would actually like to see Jasmine Crockett, but in reality, because like I've pointed out several times, the Democratic Party is a little quiet and a little too quiet, and very centered. In reality, I'm pretty Newsom at this point in time probably has the best chance. But before I go, can I touch on one other thing real quick?
What was yours, friend?
So I've heard a lot of people, and it's been brought up several times, about kind of trying to fight back against MAGA with without dropping our morals and our standards, which I totally agree on. We definitely should not sink to dirt level. It's just not something that I believe we should do. But something the Democratic Party can do, and something that I've said several times, is be loud. Go out there and actually be loud. Say what you're going to say. Don't be afraid to hurt their little fifis. Go out there,
And their
and that
tum
goes.
tum.
Oh, and yes, and their tum tums. And the Democratic politicians, they have got to stop just letting MAGA run wild. I know they have a super majority, they have the Supreme Court, so it's extremely difficult. But they're not even really trying. And that's, I think, is what is dragging down the Democratic Party. You don't have to lose your morals, and you don't have to become dirt just like they are to fight back.
Yep. Yep. I completely agree. I completely agree. And that's what I keep saying over and over and over. We can fight without becoming them. So I 1,000,000,000% agree. MAGA Christ, thank you so much for coming up, and thank you for sharing your story like that. That meant a lot to me, and I know it meant a lot to a lot of people. So I really appreciate the time you spent with us up here.
Thank you. I was actually kicking it back and forth because I've never been on live. I'm a little nervous.
Listen, Kay said this last night, and it seems like people are taking advantage of it. If you've never actually joined a TikTok live and you've always wanted to like cut your teeth or whatever, or like if you've ever been nervous, like late nights is the best place to do it, right? It's a respectful panel. Everyone gets an opportunity to speak. We try to give people time and all this other stuff when I'm not yapping, but like it, in my opinion, best place to kind of ease into the space if you are interested in these type of panels and want to do this. So
It really is. Like a lot of people I've seen on here are really against the echo chamber. But like I've pointed out, that's the voice that the Democratic Party needs right now. We need echo chambers. We need to be able to sit down and organize.
Yeah.
And Late Night with Santana is fantastic for that. I will definitely promote it 100%.
All right. Well, listen, I appreciate you coming up, and you have a wonderful evening.
Awesome. You might have to kick me down.
I
don't know how
got
to
you.
get
Don't
down.
worry about it. I was listen. Gotcha. Gucci. What about you? What do you got? Way too early 2028 prediction.
AOC Newsom.
That would win. That
Or
actually would
Newsom,
win.
AOC. Either or, but both of
That
them.
would actually win.
I like that combo.
I actually like that too. Huh.
They're both very strong. They both attack Trump head on and the Republican Party head on. They're not afraid of the Republican Party. I mean,
I'm gonna
they're
run that
loud.
as a
They're
poll
what
over
we
on
want.
YouTube. I think that would win. I actually think I might like that. Huh. Hold on. Okay. Heck, Gucci.
I mean,
I could get
at least
behind
for
that.
now, they
I
are
could
the
get behind
strongest
that.
in my opinion. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Gucci, thank you so much for coming up. I really appreciate you.
Of course, anytime.
Hey, have a good evening.
You too.
YouTube, do your thing. I put the poll up. I need you guys to answer that poll. Boom. There's 173 people watching right now on YouTube. I need 173 votes. 173 votes. Eli, I know you had it for us early. It is your time to shine. Way too early, 2028. Who do you got? Who do you want at the top of the ticket?
Jasmine Crockett and Kamala Harris.
Really?
Yep. And here's why. I think that I'm not opposed to AOC. Like I could sub out like I don't know. I really like the idea of Jasmine Crockett. I really think that Kamala would have had a lot better fighting chance if she would have had the like full term to run on, and if she wasn't attached to Biden. I think that Biden was like the Biden administration had her hands tied to say yes to things that she maybe wouldn't have. I'll repeat it. I said Jasmine Crockett and Kamala Harris. And so here's the thing. I don't love the idea of having Kamala take a back seat after she was just running for president, and I think that she absolutely would make a phenomenal president. Do I think that her running in as the primary for president would make the would get the W? I unfortunately think that there's too many people who have been swayed against her, and I think it's gross. But I think that the duo of Jasmine Crockett and Kamala Harris, like, we need to listen to Black women. Like, why not have two? And the amount of work that they could get done um, in 4 years would be mind blowing. The other reason why I say these two specifically is because I'm personally anti Newsom until he, like, I love how he speaks out. I love what he's doing. I hate that he's not speaking out for everyone. He just recently did put out some specifically. I don't know if MAGA Cries knows this, but it was anti trans rhetoric about trans kids in sports.
Yeah, on his podcast when he first came out, and he was like talking to Charlie Kirk and Steve Bannon. Yeah, yeah, yep.
And so my fear is what I said I would circle back to. Jasmine Crockett and Kamala Harris are not going to let anybody get left behind. That's what and I also know the way that Kamala handled the debate absolutely is ready. She's got everything in her pockets to be in that position with Jasmine Crockett, and we've seen how Jasmine Crockett behaves. I just those are my two that I'm if I had my dream way, I would be honored to spend 2 full terms with the two of them leading this country.
Absolutely, that would be dynamic. That would be dynamic. All right, Eli, thank you so much for coming up. I really appreciate you hanging out with us tonight.
Absolutely, thanks, Santana, and it's good to see everybody.
Likewise. Have a good one. All right, really quick, guys. W's in the chat for Caleb. Caleb sent a $10 donation towards the nightly donation goals. And thanks for having me up tonight and restoring my faith in this country. Listen, if I did that, I don't know how I did it because I don't even know if I have full faith in the country, but I'm glad that I did something for you. Thank you so much for the $10 donation, guys. We're only $100 from closing out the nightly donation goal. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Best way to support the live. Everything's accepted. Anything's appreciated. YouTube, vote on that poll. All right, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna bring anyone else in for the night. Like, boxes are closed. Sorry, guys. These are the people that we're rocking with. And also, like, there's a bunch of people waiting in the chat. Listen, come back tomorrow. Sorry, guys. You'll get an opportunity. I promise you, we're gonna be doing this one again tomorrow night. If you didn't get to join tonight, then you'll get an opportunity to join tomorrow night. But this is we're gonna rock with these 4 people that we have left. And so Erica, Dr. Steele, Justice, and was that Ada tabadabba dooby dooby? A tabadabba dooby dooby dooby.
Tata, but you can just call me Addie.
Hey, Addie. All right, let's open up the floor. Erica, Dr. Steele, Justice, Addie. Fuck is going on with this country? Ooh. What the heck is going on with this country?
Language.
I know, right?
Way too much.
Who do you want to go first?
Doesn't matter to me. You all are driving now. I'm just sitting here for the show.
Well, I legitimately think that people think that they're untouchable and that they're reveling in the cruelty that is happening to those that don't look like them. That's pretty much it. So that's what's happening. I can't remember who it was on the panel that I think it was Dolphin who just mentioned firearms. One thing about authoritarians is that they don't want the citizens to have access to anything that could be seen as power. People feel powerful when they have firearms. They don't want you to have that. Even in Germany, Schmittler confiscated firearms. The only people who had access to them was the SA and the wealthy. So there's that. That's it. So you're not going to be able to keep your guns. I'm sorry, you're not gonna be able to keep your pew pews. Tap 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 the screen, y'all. Tap 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 the screen. So you're
Tap
not
tap
gonna be
tap
able
the
to keep
screen,
those.
y'all.
I did it already. So there's that. And also, I just think that it is a usurping of the Constitution that's happening in this country, where they're literally just trying to get rid of it. Because Congress could put a stop to all of this, but they won't because they not only are they enjoying it, they want it also. What Donald Trump is doing, they want it and they have the control. So we definitely have to get out there and hopefully I know you said last night that we won't have a blue wave, but I'm keeping hope alive.
I don't think that we necessarily will. It's not that I don't think we can. I don't think the Democratic Party is doing enough to create one. What's the rest of the panel think? What do you guys think?
So I have maybe an unpopular opinion. I really don't think that this country will come together until it's rectified reparations for Black people. I don't think that you can continue to kind of cover up over the wrongs that have been made, the transgressions. And so I just truly don't think the country can come together until that happens.
Yeah. No, listen, I've said this a million times. Until this country is ready to deal with their original sins, right? And that's the taking of the land from indigenous people and driving them onto reservations and, unaliving so many of them that it actually cooled the temperature of the earth. And then, enslaving black people and building this country, and then not only continue to build this country, but building a system that continues to perpetuate racism towards black people today and keep them, quote unquote, oppressed in multiple ways until this country is ready to rectify those issues. It'll never be great. There'll never be true peace or happiness within this country until those things are come to bear and they actually deal with those original sins. It's like trying to, unfuck something and then, there's something that's really messed up, and then instead of trying to go back and correct what you did and, admit that you were wrong, you just decide you want to unfuck it some more. Like it's not gonna work. It's never gonna
Right.
work. So
And I would
Yeah.
also like to say too, like even in campaigning and things like that, there are a lot of people that chose not to speak to their family members who have tendency towards misogyny or towards racism. They're like, oh, I don't really want to talk to them. I'm just going to avoid them, but I'm going to hold on to my blue bracelet. And so avoiding those difficult conversations has really cost us the country, unfortunately.
yeah.
Totally
Justice,
agree.
Addie, what do you guys want to add?
Yeah, I agree with Steele on that. Like,
Big one.
Oh, Justice, you got
I
echo.
would,
If you swipe up and swipe back, that should correct the echo.
I would also agree with that. I think we're like way too divided at this point. Like things that are considered equal rights to people on the left sound like quote unquote woke nonsense to the right, and what is considered tradition on the right sounds like all the isms to the left, essentially. And it's like, so far we haven't had very many candidates that are kind of agreeable to both because they're so far apart that like right now there's no way to undivide.
Mm, I understand that. I understand that. The sad part about all this to me is when you really look at it and we really have like real conversations, when people get out of their own way, they realize that we really do have more in common than we have individually. But certain people are just so selfish that they get locked into the individual idea instead of focusing on like the greater good. And I think if we could, I think the, I think that we need to focus on making sure that we have a message that speaks to the individual for the greater good. Like I think that's the only way that we find common ground, because there's people that are always going to be individualistic. Boom, nailed it, and only really care about themselves. But most people understand that if you do something good for the majority, then you do something good for the individual. So I don't know. Justice, you want to try again?
I don't know if it's me actually echoing or if it's my husband's phone.
Oh, well, it sounds like you're good now.
Yeah, yeah, I think
Oh
I
no, is
am.
your husband watching in the background too?
Yeah, my husband's actually MAGA Christ.
Oh, what up, MAGA Cries? Tell him to turn it down or step into the other room or something. Yeah, that's what it is.
Right?
That's exactly what it is. I thought it was an echo. Not both of you
But yeah,
watching. Like, what? That's
I'm on my
dope.
tablet, he's on his phone.
Erica don't have support like that. Anyway,
But yeah, like I agree
Whoa.
with everything that's been said. Like we have to deal with our country's past in order to move forward. And there's so many people that just don't want to. And then yeah, there's so many people that don't want to deal with their racist or their bigoted family members because it's a difficult conversation. They don't want to face it because they don't want to deal with the conflict. And like I get it, I'm pretty anti-confrontational,
mm-hmm.
but there's times where you have to be. There's times you have to just do it because it's what has to be done. And there's just so many people that yeah, they clutch those blue bracelets and they act like they're good because they're not like that.
Mm-hmm.
But especially when it comes to white people, we have to hold other white people accountable. Like we have to. And there's so many that don't.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that I think there's not only there's a lack of accountability across the board, right? And I think that the accountability that's needed in order for any type of real change has to occur from within, right? I think white people need to hold other white people accountable. I think men need to hold other men accountable. I think that like everyone has to look to, I guess for lack of better words, hold your quote unquote counterpart accountable to push things forward and help those marginalized communities. Um, I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but like the premise is there's a lot of people who I spoke to this guy the other day when I was debating, and he came up and I was like, "Hey, are you looking to debate?" And he was like, "Oh, no, I'm not looking to debate. Like, I am a Trump supporter, but I don't talk about that anymore." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He was like, "Yeah, I don't talk about like supporting Trump online because it brings out the worst of me. So I mostly only talk about sports." And I'm like, "You can't just run from it." Like, and basically, I was like, "You're just putting your head in the sand and saying, oh, you still support Trump, but you just don't want to talk about it anymore." No, I told him like, no, that's not how we do it. So
Like yeah, not here. No. I will not be forgetting anybody that has supported Trump, and I will not be letting them pretend anybody that don't pretend otherwise.
mm-hmm. Couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. All right. So I know this is kind of a truncated version of the conversation for all of you, but it is kind of t-shirt time. So this is what I want to do. Chat, we're at 347,000 likes, 551 of us. Can we get the likes up to 400,000 likes, please? Can we lock in and power tap, get the likes up to 400,000 likes? YouTube's, I'm getting ready to close that poll. Getting ready to close that poll. Last second votes. 5, 4. Did I lose connection? Yep, lost connection. I'm back. I lost connection for a second. I don't know what that was about.
Can you all still
Nerd.
hear me? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
we can hear. Yes,
Okay, this is God.
it's not God.
This is definitely God.
Okay.
YouTube, I'm getting ready to close the poll out. If you haven't had a chance to vote, go ahead and vote.
All right. All right. Phew. Phew. All right. Ending the poll. Let's take a look at the results. Boom. So the question was, would you vote for an AOC / Newsom ticket? 81 people voted. 85% said yes. 14% said no. I would. I'm not gonna hold you. I would. It's fun. YouTube just heard the voice. You guys, YouTube is delayed. They just heard the voice, and apparently it's freaking them out. Anyway, they said it was unsettling. All right, let's kick it around the horn to bring this thing home. Addie, 2028, way too early prediction. Who you got?
I'm still holding out hope for Kamala. I think she still has a lot to offer the country and a lot to, like a lot of ideas that could do some really good, a lot of good for the country. I know that it's probably unlikely she'll run again just because she lost in the election, but it would be really great if she did.
I think she will. I don't think that she's done. I think she made the conscious decision not to run for governor, so she could leave herself open to run for president. So I think that's a possibility. So
You think so?
I do. I do. I think that she's going to throw her hat in the ring. I mean, she's a super strong candidate. We'll see, like how the world turns, and what things look like in maybe a year or so. But I don't think she's done. So. All right. Anywho, Addie, thank you so much for coming up. I really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Justice, way too early 2028 prediction. Who would you like?
I mean, I like seeing like AOC with basically anybody, Newsom, Crockett, Kamala. Like I would vote for Kamala again in a heartbeat.
Kamala?
Yeah, I'm bad with names, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I'd vote for her again in a heartbeat. I like AOC. Newsom's okay. Crockett's awesome.
Yes, she is. Okay.
But it's definitely a case of like we can't let purity politics lose an election. I guess Newsom has issues, but
that's what I said. Like I don't get me wrong. I don't support Gavin Newsom, and I don't want to vote for Gavin Newsom, but I would vote for Gavin Newsom. Like I want to make sure that I'm perfectly clear about that. Like harm reduction. Anyway, Justice, thank you so much for coming up and hanging out with us tonight. I really appreciate you.
of course.
All right. Have a
I
wonderful
like to
week.
come up. It was fun.
Hey, thank you. Dr. Steele, what do you got? Way too early 2028. Who would you want to see at the top of the ticket?
Yeah. Well, at this point, with the things that have been done legally, we need somebody who actually understands how to write policy. The only candidate that understands how to write policy is Harris, although I really don't think that she's going to run, honestly, because just from the experiences that I've had being in the public eye and being a Black woman, like there's nothing that we can do right. Like we trigger everybody. Everybody thinks that, we should do this or do that. I mean, the hyper focused criticism, America's just not ready. America, again, is not healed from the past. So I really don't necessarily think that they're going to vote for anything other than, an old white guy. So unfortunately, but yeah, we definitely need a policy writer, not just somebody who's going to go out and grandstand. I think that is nice. I think it's good when you have a candidate who can garner an audience, that sort of thing, like AOC. But if they don't know how to write policy, it's not really going to help us in actually repairing the damage that's been done. So that's kind of my view.
Okay. All right. Well, listen. I don't agree, but I don't disagree. And I'll leave it at that. Dr. Steele, thank you for coming up. I really appreciate you hanging out with us.
Name twin.
She Thanos herself. All right, Erica, it's on you.
She know what it is.
Who you got?
Just a dream team, right? Doesn't have to be based in reality.
Well, I mean, like, I don't know. I guess. I mean,
You
I don't
said
know.
dream team,
I
so
said,
my
who would you
dream
like to see
team.
at the top of the ticket? Like, I would think that it'll be reality. I mean, like, fuck, are you gonna dig up Jimmy Carter's? God, freaking curse! You do this all the time. As long as they're alive.
As long I was gonna say JFK and Carter. I don't know.
Exactly.
No. No, for real. If I could have it my way, I would say Michelle Obama and Jon Stewart. However, those are two people that absolutely do not want to run. So if I have to base it in reality and I really do want the left to win in 2028, I'm gonna have to say Newsom and maybe Bashir. Because Bashir can play the background. He's not a loud person. He can play the background. He's good at that. He's not a loud guy. And he also is like the MAGA whisperer. So boom. Boom.
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna go with.
Okay. All right. All right. E, thank you for coming up. Thank you for hanging out.
All right.
Thank you for
Of
kind
course.
of answering the question in reality.
That was reality.
You said Michelle Obama and Jon Stewart. What in the holy heck are we doing?
I literally said like dream team, and
Somebody missed it.
then I said in reality.
Somebody has forgotten the plot. Got it. Cool.
Yeah, like I did answer whatever. Okay. All right. Thank you for having me. Y'all have a great night.
Have a good one. Chat. Jasmine Crockett and Pete Buttigieg, or AOC and Andy Bashir. That's all I got. That's all I got for you. I could rock with those combos. I don't know. Anywho, Newsom and Biden. Can vice presidents serve more than 2 terms? I'm sure they can. Well, but like freaking Biden wouldn't be able to serve for another. Oh, you mean Hunter? Hunter would shake some stuff up. Hunter would shake some stuff up. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. We're gonna call it. I gotta go. With that being said, hit my theme music.
Yeah, this ain't your regular panel. Nah, we speak the truth. Late nights with Santana and Mama Jones watching. Better keep it clean. Let's go. Late nights, truth in the convo. Everybody get a seat at the table. From the block to the books, we mindful. No screaming, just dreams in the Bible. One mic, one voice, we build bridges from the heart of the hood to the world's big issues. Politics, pay, different cultures. But the real ones listen before they rebuttal. Late nights with Santana. Yeah, Mama Jones watching, so keep it growing.
Guys, night 2 is in the books. Night 2 is in the books, and it was a good night. It was a heck of a night. I actually really enjoyed tonight. It would be nice to get some actual opposition point of view, but listen, you can bring a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Right? So with that being said, we will continue this tomorrow night. Yes. We will be back at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, late nights with Santana. We will be back, and we will continue this conversation. So if you are someone that's in the box still and did not have an opportunity to actually join the panel, come back tomorrow. 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. sharp. I'll get you up here first. Guys, thank you. Thank you for all the taps, the gifts, the likes, the shares. Thank you for being here. You all are amazing. I love you all. Thank you. I love you guys. And as always, peace.
Santana, hold it steady when it might get hot. But we ain't here to fight, we here to connect the dots. Mama Jones watching,
hey YouTube.
keep it growing. Ain't about
hey Twitch. I know we're still live. I just wanted to hang out with you guys for a few more moments. Because don't tell TikTok. But YouTube, Twitch, you guys are my favorite. You guys are the best. Make sure you guys like the stream before we close it out. Don't forget to do that. Is Carbon gonna fall asleep? Is Carbon live? If Carbon is live, I am. I do take care of myself. I am. Yeah. Twitch ripped. Really, what happened? Thank you for being a part of the space. Like, seriously, when I say I appreciate you guys, I really do mean that. Like, I appreciate you guys being here. I'm your favorite. Stop it. Listen. Hold on. You said I'm your favorite?
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop fucking lying.
Ain't no way I'm your favorite. Don't do that. Don't do that. Carbon was wild last night. I really enjoy Carbon. Carbon's one of my good friends. So I enjoy Carbon. Bradley is his name. So okay, whatever. Hey, would you guys like it if I did like a YouTube only live? Like if I did something just special for you guys that's over here on the YouTubes? I've been thinking about that, and I think I want to do something like just for you guys. I don't believe I'm your favorite. But if I did that, it would make TikTok jealous. They would get jealous over on TikTok if I did a YouTube only live. Prank Carbon? How? Hey, management. Prank Carbon, how? How am I supposed to? What do you guys want me to do with Carbon? Is he live? Let's see. Oh, he's live. If he wasn't live, I would have. I'm not. Stop it. All right. He said I'm your least favorite. All right, YouTube. Seriously, I got to get out of here. I'm going to go do hot girl shit. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Right? You guys coming back tomorrow? Okay.